Hey all, J-Man here. I just want to tell you about beardedshirts.com. It's a great place to get a lot of cool superhero shirts and other merchandise. You can scroll, they've always got sales on. As you can see, they've got these really cool print all over shirts, which I really love. That's Eddie, the founder of the site. And if you're looking for stuff, all you got to do is you click on the search here and you can type in all over. And that's going to show you the all over prints, which are really, really cool. Look at that. You got Legion of Superheroes, you got Brave and the Bold, you got JSA, you got Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, all kinds of stuff. So check out beardedshirts.com. Hey guys, J-Man here. Welcome to Days of High Adventure. Today we're talking about Superman. We're talking about Batman. Batman Begins 20 years ago to this day. Let that sink in for a second. 20 years. So remember when you saw Batman Begins? That was 20 years ago. Unless you just saw it recently on streaming or something. But yeah, wow, crazy. 20 years of Batman Begins. I can't believe it. It's just insane to think how fast the time goes. So tonight we're going to talk about Batman Begins. I'm pretty sure it's all going to be pretty positive because I think everyone likes this movie, although I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. So before we get to the actual Batman Begins stuff, let's talk about what's going on. And what's going on tomorrow is episode number 16 of Earth's Mightiest Mondays, where we talk about 4 Avengers comics. And oh shit, yeah, Doctor Strange tomorrow, in the Doctor Strange where he had the mask, which I always thought was kind of cool. So 4 more issues of Avengers tomorrow. That's issues 58, 59, 60, and 61. That's going to be tomorrow, of course, as it is Earth's Mightiest Monday. And we've got next weekend, we're finally going to get back to Transformers Victory. We're going to be covering episodes 9 to 23. So there's only going to be 2 streams left, and we're going to finish off Transformers Victory. That is the 3rd and final conclusion to the Japanese trilogy, which continued from the G1 cartoon. I still count Victory as G1 because characters like Wheeljack and stuff are in it. So I count this as part of G1 continuity. So we're going to finish that off in 2 more streams, but the first of those 2 is next Sunday. The Sunday after that, we're going to do something else and whatever. We're going to do a Speed Racer coming up. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is still coming up. I know I promised that ages ago. We're still going to do League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So we will eventually get to that. Let's talk about some of the Super Friends here. Now, FK, my buddy FK has joined as well, so I didn't have time to add you to the graphic, buddy. Sorry, but I know you're a member, and you joined up. So these are the channel members, the Super Friends: Dan, Sean, Steven, Brennan, Mark D, RR, Philip Story, Digger Jim, Quagnar, Just Joe, and of course Mike Alonzo, Clobberin Times. Just over 1 year ago, just a couple of days ago, it's been exactly 1 year since Mike passed away, and we had a little bit of a just like a tribute and a memory, talking about some great memories with him. We had that on Mark D with a C's channel. The link to Mark's channel is in the description of this video, plus all my other videos. Make sure you're subscribed. Check that out. It's over 4 hours, just sharing memories. Mike's daughter was able to come on and join us. It was nice to just connect with everybody, see how everybody's doing after this 1 year, and just, share memories and celebrate our buddy. I'm pretty sure he liked Batman Begins. We didn't really talk about it exactly, but I'm pretty sure he liked Batman Begins. So there you go. And if you guys want to, you can put a CT in the chat to help remember Clobberin Times. All right. Okay, so we got a little bit of a panel rotating in and out, coming in. More people will come in, that kind of a stuff. So for now, let's bring in the first few of our guests. Hello.
Heidi ho.
Heidi ho.
Always.
Batman Begins. All right, let's bring in let's bring in I'll just use this one.
I can't wait any longer.
Is I have
a triumphant return to days of high adventure.
Yes.
In weeks is.
Yeah. Let's say hello to people here. Could not be reached, I think, was first. Batman Begins.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Larkus, hello everybody. Good afternoon. You love the Nolan trilogy? Yes, I think a lot of us like it. 20. You were 21 years old when you first saw this in theaters. You loved it ever since. So we were 27.
27, 28. I was 28.
28. You were 28. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was 27. You were 28. Yeah. Yeah, CT, you missed it. It's on Mark D's channel. Could not be reached if you want to watch some of it. So yeah, 20 years since the Batman began. And let me take a look. I think so. Release date was so in Tokyo it was a little bit earlier, but June 15th was the United States. So today is actually the 20 years, 2 hours and 10 minutes. And yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think that this had come out. Now, I never, well, obviously the Batman 66 movie I never saw when it came out in theaters, but I did see it in theaters where they replayed it at a festival. So I've actually, and I've seen Mask of the Phantasm, so I've actually seen every Batman movie that's ever been made in the theater, not counting serials. Not counting the serials that would have played, right? I didn't see the serials, obviously.
Yeah.
But I have seen every Batman in the theater. I saw this one 3 times, and I saw 89 3 times. So that's very interesting. Those I both saw 3 times. I definitely would have seen 66 3 times if that was available at the time to see. So sorry.
You saw Batman, the Adam West one again?
So they played it at so there's a theater in downtown Toronto that would play play just old movies. They still do.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year they played Ninja 3 The Domination, and they actually had Sam Furstenberg. Is that yeah, they had him there. And I missed it. I was so upset. Oh, Slade is here. How's it going, Slade? You're 30. All right. Everyone's giving out their ages. Be careful. It's very easy to add 20 to a number. just keep that in mind. It's like
I would have been like about 38 when I saw this one.
Right. Wow. So there you go. So
I did see it in the theater. I don't have any sexy stories about this one. I
think like by the time like this, I'm assuming everyone. There's going to be a few more people joining us later on. I'm assuming everyone is going to be has seen this. Like this is now people are going to the theater. They're seeing these big movies.
Yeah,
they know Batman by now. That it's people were a little bit. I remember there was speculation with Batman and Robin because it's like, oh no, that was so terrible, and will this movie kind of bring it back or whatever. Definitely brought it back. It brought it back, but it was never the 89 Batmania. Like that 89 movie was absolutely bonkers. Like
because nobody was expecting it. I have a friend who is a huge so he's got. I'll tell you 2 stories about my friend if you got time. He's like the Batman fan. Everybody's got the Batman fan in their group.
Right.
I got 2 of them, but like these 2 guys are neck and neck. Anyway, like his cute little story was he didn't know how to tell time yet, but he knew about how long half an hour was. So if they were going on a road trip, he'd ask his mom like, how many Batmans until we get there? So you can cute. So he like there still weren't like a lot of VCRs, and you couldn't watch the trailers online at any time you wanted to. So he paid money to go see the trailer.
Oh my God.
Theater, saw the movie. He saw the movie once, left the theater, came back. I think he got to the point where he would just see the trailer, watch the movie, hang out in the lobby, watch the trailers again, and then leave. So he saw the trailer like twice.
Right.
But I mean he was like all on board for that 89 one.
89, yeah.
So the other story regarding him was, fast forward to Batman Forever. we were at a convention. We have this like little mini monthly con, and it has terrible sound. And we heard an announcement going like, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." And I saw this line of people getting like what looked like a free T-shirt out of a box. People were handing out T-shirts. So I was like, I asked around, and I was like, and I got in the line, and my friends were like, "Why are you waiting in the line?" I said, "If you get this free T-shirt, it is my understanding you can go to the theater in Westwood." And this is the theater, like if you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where Margot Robbie's like, it's that there's two theaters across the street from each other that are like the premier theaters. If you go to that theater in Hollywood on this day at this time, you can be at the premiere for Batman Forever. And so we did, and then we got. It was funny because like we got in the line, and it was like a bunch of guys like you would expect to see at a Comic-Con, you know, those.
Right.
Us and them, we fit right in. But then across the street was like there was like the really morbidly obese people and the great unwashed. Like I was like, what the hell are they? So turns out I recognized one of the guys in line. I said, he wrote for Starlog magazine. I was like, holy crap, that's the press. That's the nerd press across the street. So they corralled us all. They corralled all the T-shirt guys into this one area. And we got to see, like, within touching distance, Steven Seagal, Gina Davis, Val Kilmer, Tom Cruise, and Nicole Kidman, and then Bob Kane in this like ill-fitting white tuxedo with these two hired chicks comes by, and my buddy starts yelling, "Remember Bill Finger" at him.
Oh, awesome!
So,
that is awesome.
Then it was announced to us, like we thought we were going to go into those theaters and watch it with the celebrities, even if we had our own little nerd area. But no, they were like, "Oh no, the theater's all filled up." They just didn't want to sit in the same theater as us. So we marched just like 3 blocks down the street to another theater that wasn't a premiere theater, but it was nice, and we got to see the movie like before anybody else for free, just for wearing a T-shirt that we got for free. So I was like, "That's a deal."
That's a deal. I just want to say, hey. Thanks for coming on here, but Truth, what's going on, dude?
What's up, Truth? You know what?
Batman had a great ad campaign. So okay, so we had those previous movies. They're done. We're starting again. New guy, Chris Nolan. What was? Let me take a look at Chris Nolan's movies up until the resume before Batman Begins. Here, let's take a quick look.
Really, 3.
After you do that, look at David Goyer's resume, because there's like nothing that implies, except for the okay-ish. I mean, the Blade movies were fine. They were essentially B movies at the time, right there, and fit in really well with the rest of his resume. There is nothing to indicate that he was going to make the jump to a Batman movie.
Right. No. Well, the following I haven't seen. I do have that one. That one I know that's a really neat kind of black and white sort of small movie. Memento. I saw that 3 times in the theater. I loved Memento. I thought that was pretty much a masterpiece. That might still be my favorite movie of his, actually. But anyways,
one of them.
Insomnia. I never saw. My friend Sean, not the Sean. The Sean that you guys on, different Sean. He really liked it. Our friend Sean didn't like it. Steven is shaking his head saying he wasn't a fan of it either. Classic Comics is here. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, classic.
It will solve your insomnia. Let's put it that way.
Right. So I don't. Again, this is sort of like, what the hell? How did this guy do a Batman? Oh, hold on a second. Our super chat already. Wow, awesome, buddy. I really appreciate that. Wish I could join you for this. Yes, easily top 3 Batman movies because Bale's performance and Playboy Bruce. Yes, we're going to talk about all that. That's all very good stuff. Personally, like Dark Knight a little bit more, but Batman Begins is a 9 out of 10. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, we're gonna. Well, Dark Knight. We'll do them all at 20 years because they're all going to be in a row now. Yep. Not in an exact row, but close. What do we got here? What do I have? I can give you. I don't come prepared with any Batman related ones. I've got Megan dancing, which I'm so excited for Megan too. I can't tell you. And How about Spider off-brand Spider-Man? I used to love that logo.
Yeah.
Megan's got nothing on Wednesday.
No. No.
What's and what else? Which one have I not used anything for a while? Let me see. How about Wonder Woman? I haven't used a Wonder Woman winking in a while. That's so thank you, R. I really appreciate that. We're doing Speed Racer. So RR is going to join us for Speed Racer.
Is that next week?
No, let me see when that is. Or unless if he's still there, he can tell you. It's in July or something. Hold on.
There was a lot going on, and I think you kind of were still talking about the big plans.
So next week is Transformers Victory.
Mm-hmm.
The week after that, we don't have anything scheduled. Do you want to do LXG?
Sure.
Is Transformers Victory what a movie or a?
It's a cartoon, unless you want to watch like 13 episodes in episodes 9 to 23 of a Japanese cartoon, in which the only available ones, unless you bought it, I bought it on DVD, and now that DVD is like $300. Mm-hmm. You can watch it off YouTube in a horrendously awful translation, which none of the characters are their names, and you're like, and you don't know any of them anyways. So, I mean, you can come if you want to.
As a Super Sentai fan from before, for 10 years before Power Rangers came, that is not even a challenge for me.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to leave you guys. I think I'll get caught up on some stuff instead. So
yeah, I figured Sean and I do Transformers. We are going to do Brave Star. Once Transformers Victory is done, I might do it. We're going to do about 6 streams on Brave Star because I haven't watched that in a long time. And the movie is all of it's on YouTube, and I have it. I can loan it to you guys. The movie's on YouTube, so you can watch the movie first. And it's like a pretty solid movie. And then there's 65 episodes of the cartoon, but we do like 12 or 13 at a go because it's fast. We just go through them.
So are those going to be? Those aren't going to be high adventure. That's
that's going to be on Sunday though. So I have too much going on. So and I've got to do some of these Transformers. So we're not going to do days. We're not going to do it every week. We'll do it maybe twice. Like I'll
rotate it.
I'll rotate it so that people don't get too overwhelmed. Okay, so Batman Begins, 4th movie.
Yeah.
That is a crazy, Insomnia I haven't seen, but let's say it's not that great. Following I think is pretty neat. And Memento is awesome, and Batman Begins is awesome. And Prestige, I like Prestige. I like Dark Knight. I like Inception. I like Dark Knight Rises. Interstellar was okay. I haven't seen Dunkirk yet. I like Tenet. Nobody else likes it. I like Oppenheimer, and Odyssey is what I like about this filmography is that this is a manageable filmography. I could go and buy all these movies right now on Blu-ray or 4K, and I can have a pack, and I don't feel like it's like this is the Tarantino, he picks it. Now, whether you like it or not, that's fine, but he's picking his movies. He's sniping it. Okay.
Would you do that? Would you buy all those movies if the Batman ones weren't shuffled in there?
Most of these
I already owned all of them. So
would you have if he hadn't been a Batman guy?
Well, I already owned Memento, and I liked, so I own it, have it. So like I don't own Dunkirk. And I don't own Insomnia.
Dunkirk was one of the ones I liked the best.
I didn't see Dunkirk.
Okay. I own all of them except Interstellar, Dunkirk, and Tenet. Those 3.
Yeah.
Everything else I own.
And even I've seen half of them, and the ones I've seen I've liked, but not enough to like own them. Like I feel like I need to watch all the special features and watch it more than once. I was like, okay, I thought the South Park episode of Inception kind of nailed all its pluses and minuses.
Right.
I mean,
all right. So let's go. Go ahead, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Everything up to Interstellar was, I mean, even Insomnia, I didn't care for, but I still got it as part of a Robin Williams pack. And I didn't throw up when I got it. You know what? It was a weird pack. It was Insomnia, 7. And The Devil's Advocate. I really like The Devil's Advocate. 7. I'm like, Insomnia, like, I saw it when I was 25. I'll give it another pass. Maybe it got better. I'm willing to give it another shot. But even if I don't like it, the other two movies are awesome. So you come out ahead. But Interstellar was fine. It was just like that. It went on and on and on. I lost it. Tenet, it didn't do anything for me. And Dunkirk was good. Dunkirk was really good. I just walked away and I'm like, it's not a movie I need to rewatch. That's why I didn't buy it. But everything else, I'll revisit.
Which is the one that appears like it's all one take? Is that 1917?
Yes.
Oh, that was I own that. But that's not Nolan, but that was an awesome movie. Okay, so Batman Begins. So comes out, we see the stuff that's coming out. Okay, blah 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 blah. I mean, Ross, did you? Okay, I mean, we saw it in the theater, so that's fine. What did you think about it after you first saw it?
So I liked it with the kind of like with a question mark, but I will quickly fly in under the radar and say, but when I saw it again right now, I really liked it a lot more. I think it's aged extremely well. Mm-hmm. But because the first four were just kind of like there was the Batmania one, but there was also the disappointment that there was like a lot of Batman stuff you'd wanted to see in it that just wasn't in it. It was not a very action-packed movie. Mm-hmm. And if you look at some of the other Tim Burton movies that have come before and since, it kind of took him a while. It seems like it took him a while to like be able to read a screenplay and actually understand the story he's supposed to be telling well enough to tell it as a movie. Because there was like a scene in Ed Wood that I read in the screenplay, and I was like, this is really important. Why did they cut it out of the film? But and then so the first two were essentially Tim Burton movies that had Batman stuff and names in it. And then the third one was like a cartoon, although I hear that there's a new cut, the Schumacher cuts going around, and like it's a completely different movie. I read the screenplay to it before I saw the third one, Batman Forever, in the theater. I thought it was going to be the best Batman movie ever, but it was kind of like it wasn't. It was just the way everything played out in the script was a lot bigger, louder, and more cartoonish. But a lot of what was in that script was on the screen. So what a difference directing and editing can make. And then the fourth one was just kind of like a goof fest. I don't hate it, but I don't like it because that was essentially the franchise killer. Like we very well could have never had a Batman movie again after that fourth one. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't George Clooney's fault either, I don't think. But leading up into this one, it was like already 4 Batman movies, and I think the animated series had been around for a while, and I was happy with that. I was like, you know what? I don't care if there's like a good live action Batman movie. This animated series is about as perfect as we're going to get for Batman. And then all the advertising, they were kind of like telling you like, there's really not going to be a huge amount of Batman in this movie, and it's going to be totally different from the other one, and it does take a long time before you see Batman in it.
Hey, Raven.
Yeah, so when it was over, I thought I liked it. I still don't like the Christopher Nolan shaky cam thing, but watching it again this time, I was like, I understand why they did it for this one. I'm not as happy with it in the second and third one, and then I was good. I saw it like 2 or 3 times in the theater. Can I skip ahead to the second time I saw it in the theater? There's a spoiler for a 20-year-old movie that.
Well, everyone in the world has seen this. So. Okay,
so I have another friend who's like he's one of the Batman guys. I don't consider him on the same level as the other two, but he's got like a Batman. He's got a Batman and Robin kissing tattoo on his arm. He's a big Batman. Hey. So anyway, we went to see it a second time with our comic nerd group, and he kept saying like, you know, that Japanese actor. I mean, he's a good actor and all that, but you know, Liam Neeson looks a lot more like Ra's al Ghul from the comics. And so when the revelation happens at the party, he audibly, like for everybody in the theater, goes, Oh,
I mean, there's not anybody in the well, except for him. There's not anyone in the universe that didn't know. It's like Ken Watanabe is.
No, at the time, no, because Ra's al Ghul wasn't like that big of a character.
No, I know. Yeah, some people didn't know. If you knew who he was, you knew it was Liam Neeson. If you didn't know who he was, then you didn't know who he was, so it doesn't matter. If you knew who he was, it's like
they were just really good about keeping the spoilers, and it was one of those things that nobody really cared about outside of
the
nerd groups.
The toy was called Ken Watanabe's toy was called Ra's al Ghul. Like it's do we have a figure of him? See, look.
Yeah, I mean, they were calling him that until like weeks into the release of the movie, and it's kind of like, if you don't know by now, then forget, you just don't care. But like, yeah, it was fun to see his reaction to that, because it was like,
that's awesome.
That was a pretty big spoiler, because I felt that way too the first time I saw it. I was like, well, they're really not giving you the Ra's al Ghul from the comics, but okay. And then it was like, oh yeah, they are in a big way. So,
but no Lazarus Pit or anything like that. So, Steve, what did you think when you first did we?
We didn't see it together. I saw it in London.
Yeah, I saw it in London. I was gonna say we knew each other, but we didn't. I don't think we saw it together.
Yeah, I saw.
So, what did you think about it?
I really liked it. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was excellent. I did get thrown off a bit by the lack of fantasy in the movie. There's no Lazarus pits. There's nothing. Hey, there's no Lazarus pits or anything. Scarecrow's walking around wearing a suit and he has a mask, and I thought that was kind of weird. The Katie Holmes character I didn't really like at all, but that's more so Katie Holmes than anything. I just don't think she's a good actress. But I thought like they did handle the Batman creation very well. And Christian Bale obviously was terrific as Batman, and I liked a lot of the corresponding supporting characters who really built that world of Batman that they were trying to do, like Michael Caine as Alfred was awesome, Gary Oldman. Like, it really made smart choices with the casting. I think that for the supporting characters of Batman himself, Liam Neeson. I always struggle with Liam Neeson sometimes, because sometimes I'm like, is he doing it for the paycheck or because he wants to do the movie? Cillian Murphy, quite frankly, I would love to see that too, Phil. Cillian Murphy, honestly, I think was a better villain than Liam Neeson was in the movie, just performance-wise. But the thing with the Nolanverse movies is that my take on Batman is that Batman needs to be the most realistic part of the story, meaning that you throw in the fantasy and then Batman is the realism. I know that's kind of weird because he dresses as bad. He's a billionaire playboy, all that, but he's sort of like the counterpoint to all the fantasy and all the extraordinary things going on around him. That's why he's feared, is because they can't get to that level with him. Like Batman's rogues gallery to me is the weaponization of fantasy. That's what makes him interesting. And like when you have everything realistic or more realistic, then Batman sort of loses his impact to me a bit, because now everything is the same. But this movie is still terrific. Like the thing with this sort of movie is that Christopher Nolan is a great director. He's made so many great movies. So he's always going to make a great movie. The question is it going to be your great movie? That's the real question. And I think this one, inarguably, even if you don't like Batman, you will like this movie, because Christopher Nolan just makes good movies. That's what he does. But I agree with Daniel that Batman, this is my favorite of the three Nolanverse movies. I like this more than Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises, because I love the theme of fear, and I think that just they really built something special here. And it didn't continue the same momentum, but again, I was fine with the other two movies, because going back, Christopher Nolan's a great director. He makes really good movies, even if the subject matter isn't always to your taste.
Yeah. So Ravenscroft is asking if I love it. Yeah, I do. But like, you got to always be careful with me because I just like Batman anyways. So like, it's like I came out of Batman Robin. I thought that was awesome. It's cheesy. I don't care. Like Batman was fighting guys. He's in the costume a lot. Robin's fighting guys. Like, well, but Bane was ruined. I'm like, I know. And Riddler was ruined last time, and Two-Face was ruined last time, and Penguin is a monster and not really like he should be a mob boss guy, right? Like it's like Penguin, they made him monster, and Catwoman is a cat lady who that licks herself. Like it's like, and Joker's dead, like, and Joker's like a mob guy who killed his parents. I'm like, so for further examples of villains that weren't properly used, see all the movies. I don't understand. Like see everything. Like, it's just that oh, this is too cheesy. Oh, because Batman has never been cheesy in the history of comic books, except for decades where everybody was cheesy. Right. It's like the Batman 66 TV show is comic accurate. Yeah. It's comic accurate for the comics. It's comic accurate. So what are you talking about? So I understand Batman and Robin was not the movie that people wanted at the time. But I like cheesy Batman. Brave and the Bold is my favorite of the cartoons. I like it way more than Batman the Animated Series. But I love Batman the Animated Series, and I love Mask of the Phantasm. So I'm not a great judge really, because even Dark Knight Rises, I really liked Dark Knight. Like Bane, I thought was awesome. I love Dark Knight Rises while I was watching it. And the last 20 minutes where they kind of changed it and Bane didn't crawl out of the pit, I was like, oh, that's a bit disappointing. Well, add Bane to the list of characters that's now been ruined twice in movies.
I think Bane is like a really difficult character to do, like in a live action movie that has to appeal to a lot of people.
Right.
First of all, as a half Mexican, I'm offended as hell by the whole Bane thing because he's like South American. When that kind of lucha libre stuff is like the masked lucha libre.
It's supposed to be right.
It's from Mexico. Give it to us. Let us have the cool villain from Mexico, not South America. They keep doing that in like mainstream stuff. It's like Brazil or South America because they don't want to go to deal with Mexico.
They don't want to do Mexico. I know. I want to show you. I want to show you this awesome cowl. I got this cowl. This is how I knew that the 20-year anniversary was coming up, because I got this cowl. And I was like, wait, 2000. And I said 2005. I said, Todd McFarlane, how disgusting are you? You made a total mistake. That movie's not 20 years old. And then I went to Wikipedia. I was like, oh, Todd McFarlane didn't make a mistake. It is 20 years. I was actually stunned. I got this cowl. I thought, oh, no, it says 2005. What a massive error. I was like, oh, no, it's not an error. So I've got this. I wanted to show you guys. I did dig this up. So I did I did dig up the calendar 2006.
Hey.
Wall calendar, just to prove that, oh, I didn't just, I just hopped on the Christopher Nolan bandwagon here. It's like, oh, after the Dark Knight came out, oh, it's all my favorite stuff. It's like, no, I was there from the beginning, so I got me the calendar. It was pretty good. So that was the 2005 part of it, and then like it's all.
Yeah, you don't have to prove anything. But
so. I'm a bit of a Batman shill where I'm just going to probably just like it anyway. Like, it's like Hush 2 is, I was like, I like Hush 2. And everyone's like, oh, this is all these critical analysis. Like, I don't care about the critical analysis. It's Batman. So this movie I saw 3 times in the theater. Mm-hmm. I did see 89 3 times in the theater. So those are the 2 big ones. I really liked it, man. I saw this. I thought, wow, this is pretty awesome. I have the same complaints. So Scarecrow, I wanted him to be in the full Scarecrow costume with the hat and all of that stuff. Right. We didn't get that. But what we got, it's one of these things where everything we got, I really, really liked. I just wanted more. So versus like, let's say Batman and Robin, which is like, it's a good cartoon campy movie, but like it was just too much of everything. And people were like, what is this movie? I can't take it. See, Batman Forever is just as bad as Batman and Robin, if not worse as a script, because Batman doesn't know half of it is bad. Batman doesn't know what he's doing and he's an idiot. Whereas Batman actually wins and solves things in Batman and Robin. He actually wins. Like, he goes out and captures Mr. Freeze. He goes out and like he actually succeeds in things in Batman and Robin, and he doesn't in Batman Forever. And Riddler and Two-Face are absolutely the worst. It's okay, he flips the coin a bunch of times. He keeps flipping the coin. I'm like, you've destroyed that character. That character's whole thing is he can't make the decision until he flips the coin. Why would he flip it again unless he's waiting for a decision he wants? So I don't like that.
I distinctly remember when I read the screenplay for Batman Forever, in my brain I was imagining Jim Carrey basically doing an impression of Frank Gorshin, which is
not Riddler, but anyway,
which would have been fine for audience expectations and whatever. And to contrast, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, because he's a good actor and he could be kind of like Mr. Nice Guy, country lawyer, kind of guy, and then on a flip of a coin become like this evil character.
Right.
I distinctly remember the jokes that were being made at the time was like, oh, his face is already messed up. What are they going to do? Spackle one side of it so it's smooth, which is kind of mean, but accurate. So that's how I imagined it playing out as I read it. And then when I saw it, it's like both of them were trying to outdo each other. And you got Tommy Lee Jones going like, "No, you're cooking with gas."
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah.
And it was kind of and the whole movie was sort of like that. So so I was going to say, when you're showing off your merch, all of the Batman movie merch that I have is from the 89 movie, cuz like to see a live action Batman taken relatively seriously, where it wasn't going to be Bill Murray and Eddie Murphy doing the Adam West TV show shtick, was like amazing. So I went in, I've got the bubble bath dispenser, I've got the t-shirt, the only Batman shirt that I've got that fits is the one I'm wearing now, but I up there in my closet folded away, I've got the 89 Batman movie t-shirt and the one from the premiere. So that was when I was the most excited, and I went all in. I got the soundtracks and everything else, and then I kind of got a little fatigued by the time this one came along. So that was part of what fed into me going like, yeah, that was pretty good. And my impression, the memes and impressions and the things everybody was saying at the time was Katie Holmes looked like she was, a teenager, like she was too young to have any gravitas as an attorney.
Right.
There wasn't enough Batman in it, and it was hard to even make out the action scenes. But overall, there was a lot of stuff. Most of the stuff everybody was really happy with, and so watching it now, I was like impressed as hell with it. Oh, and one thing that I kind of noticed then, and 20 years of screenwriting books later, that script. It is a testament to Christopher Nolan's storytelling and those actors, and especially Michael Caine, because that script, it's like it's so on the nose with the fear, and you fear. Do you feel the fear? The fear. Yeah. You got to show the fear and make them feel the fear, and the fear and the fear, and there's fear, and it's like I'm going to have you fight the fear, and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, I get it, and it's like, oh, you got to be theatrical. Oh, I'm being theatrical. Well, be more theatrical. And it's like, oh. I understand. I'm not an idiot. But that movie, not only did it have to just be a good movie, and not only did it have to be a good Batman movie, it had to take you so far away from those first four movies that you'd forget about it. Because I was going to say earlier, you were talking about, when we were younger and kids and the stuff we would accept. My grandpa's generation, like when Star Wars came out, like Johnny Carson, my grandpa, people of that age and generation, they didn't want to have anything to do with old cartoony stuff that they liked when they were kids. They like Star Wars was that Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers stuff, kid stuff. Don't want to even worry about what letters and numbers C-3PO goes in, right? So, but now, and it's like you could, even though Star Wars was like 100 times more sophisticated than Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers, it's like, nah, it looks like that stuff. I'm putting it in the same pile. Now we've got generations of adults. Well, and like the comic books, the old Batman comic books, those were for children, but they were read by, you know, soldiers, the joke, like old timey movies. You'd see some guy at a gas station reading a comic book, and he's kind of like a bumpkin or borderline illiterate. Like that's who read comics. Like if you were an adult and you're reading comics, you're kind of illiterate. Now we have a Penguin TV show or a Penguin streaming show that you got a character that started out as like this fat guy with like a cartoonishly long nose, and he's called the Penguin. He looks like a human penguin, and he works with actual penguins, and there's penguin and bird crimes and all. It's for kids. But now we've got a streaming show that's like R-rated and for adults, and it's still called the Penguin, and it's got penguin stuff in it. It's like, it's completely flipped. Like the grandpa generation, like this is for the grandpa. You got a Penguin for the grandpa generation that totally embraces it. And it's like, oh, it's the greatest streaming show, best Batman thing ever to come along.
So well, that's a different topic for just a second, but I'll get back to that.
Yeah.
Is it too much though? Okay, so hold on. Let me finish Batman Begins.
Yeah.
So I loved it, blah, blah, blah. I didn't buy any of the toys though at that time because I didn't think the toys looked that cool.
Yeah.
So I saw it a bunch of times. I thought this is a great Batman, whatever. I liked every. I had the same complaints that you guys have already said. It's like scared, but I didn't think like it's like Batman was in it, but I already seen Batman a lot, so I was just looking. I like the way Batman trained. Hey, Angry Gamer, how's it going? The Batman stuff was awesome because he's a ninja and he's fast, and I like that he's training to be a ninja. That's the point of it, right? Mm-hmm. And the fear and all that stuff, and they had to explain it. So my negatives would be, coming from a Batman fan, I don't need all this stuff explained, and it's not as interesting as Superman's origin, which is on a different planet and all this cool shit going on. Mm-hmm. So I don't need, like, I'm watching Batman Begins and I'm like, okay, the first hour was awesome. I never need to watch that first hour ever again in my life. I could just skip right to where he's Batman. However, I've seen it a few times, and I watched it on 4K. I bought the 4K pack, and I watched on 4K. Like, I still like all that stuff with, you know, it's like, oh, it was your father's fault, not yours. It's like, you know, he should have the guy, all that. That's cool. And I like, you know, you got Falcone and all that, and he comes in and it's like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, you think you're tough shit. And that when he came into after the court case. So going back to, because I didn't like Katie Holmes when I first saw it, but I like her now.
Yes.
When I watched it on 4K, I liked her a hell of a lot more. I gotta watch Maggie in the second one again, and I don't think I'll like her as much as I liked Katie Holmes. So there might be that. Leo, how's it going, dude?
Because at the time the movie came out, there was a lot of Katie Holmes shenanigans going on with Tom Cruise, and she was in the media a lot, and it was just kind of like you're kind of sick of Katie Holmes by the time. That usually doesn't. I usually don't get affected by outside forces that much because I don't really care and I don't pay attention. Like I don't really, even now I don't. That's why I don't know spoilers or things that are happening because I don't really care. Like I don't care what people say. It's like or do, or if you see them too much, I'm like just, you know, if the movie's cool, it's cool. But anyway, so I liked her more, but I liked the themes better. I like where it's like, oh, you have to learn to pick yourself back up. That's cool. Right. I like the my actions define who I am. It's like, yeah, because it's like this whole thing of like, oh, it's who we are inside. No, it's not. It's like, it's what you're doing. It's oh, I'm this great person inside, but oh, this person's dying of starvation. I'm eating a big banquet and throwing my food away after I'm done. It's like, well, this wasn't with great power comes great responsibility, like one theme, and they repeat it like at the beginning and the end. This had like 3 or 4 of those things.
Yeah. There's a lot of good. I like the
3 or 4 times each throughout the thing. And
I don't like the themes.
I get it.
No, I don't like the themes in the Dark Knight. This like, oh, like humanity. It's like, no, those guys would blow each other up in 5 seconds. Like the second that bomb comes, they would be like, press it. Like you see how stupid everyone is now. They believe anything. You show them a quick 5-second clip of anything on. It's like, oh, look, this kid was screaming or something. And they're like, that's it, crucify him, kill him, he's a racist. It's like, hold on a second. And then, oh, here's the full clip. Oh, no, never mind, it's okay. It's like people are stupid. Anyways,
I show the full clip, but not everybody will have, like, the people who got all enraged, half of them will never admit that they were wrong.
Oh, that's the other thing.
The other half of it, and then there's another bunch of them that just will never follow up and watch the full clip.
Right. They won't go back and watch. Right. So people are stupid. But I like the themes in this one. Maggie has less of a personality that compares to Katie and felt like Katie was just more of an effort. Yeah, I think that's true, actually, Jo. Now that we've got Crypto in the Super movie, what do you think the chance that we'll see is no, we're not seeing that.
Well, you never know. I mean, James Gunn is a super troll, so
yeah, and he like that. I don't want to talk about that. We could talk about that movie later once we've exhausted everything for Batman Begins. But so, anyways, so there's all that stuff. I thought it was awesome. I can't remember what rating I reviewed it not too long ago. I gave it like a 9 or 10 out of 10. My gripes are the things, it's like, I want to see Ra's al Ghul's cape. I want to see like the Lazarus pit. I want to see the fantasy elements because Batman is a fantasy thing. Stripping all that away can make Batman look silly. It's like, well, why are you the only one wearing this costume? But they mention at the very end, he's like, oh, the theatrics. It's like, is that going to take it to the next level now? He goes, because we started carrying, better guns, and then they had machine guns, and then we carry this. And then he goes, so now you've got a mask and a thing, and now someone else is going to do a mask and a thing, so it's like, is that just going to escalate things? So I like that part of it. I thought that was kind of neat.
Ed Wood already covered that in Plan 9 from Outer Space, where he's like, first you have a bomb, then you have a bigger bomb, and then you have the Solaranite.
Ed Wood, man.
So
what'd you think of the costume?
I thought the costume
was get a better look. Here's like kind of a better look.
By far the best of the bat suits up until that time.
Oh, here's a better picture.
Still probably the best one, actually, I think.
So
with this one, because I don't like the bat symbol being the same color. It can get lost. I'm not a big fan of that.
If the bat symbol was black, then what are your thoughts?
Yeah, then it's better to me. I just want some more contrast in that, because I like to see the symbolism right up front. And if I don't see that, it's like if they made the Punisher skull like less white and more like a gray, and then it melds in, it sort of loses the point of why he's got the skull. I feel the same way with the bat symbol across his chest. Yeah. Otherwise, I think it's fine.
I don't like. See, it is gray and black, but I don't like that the cowl and cape don't match.
Yeah, I don't like that piece up there really where I can see the connection. I like it just being I like it being seamless. I know why they have to do it. I think it's more like functional than anything. Because they have to do it in pieces, and they actually explained it's created in pieces. So they did give it the explanation of why it looks like that. But I prefer the seamless, one suit, that sort of thing. But I also understand like they had to make adjustments because,
hey Andrew,
what's his name? Michael Keaton and Val Kilmer and George Clooney all struggled with the other suits, so they had to make some sort of adjustment. So I understand the practicality needs to sort of outweigh the aesthetics, but preference aside, I don't like to see where the suit actually comes together, because it sort of reminds me, it's like, oh yeah, there's where this goes in and that's where that goes in, and I can't see the symbol. And I still, to this day, I like the Batman suit from '89, and I like the Batman suit from Zack Snyder stuff, and the rest is various levels of okay. Obviously, I don't like the nipples. Okay, I don't like the nipples on Kilmer or Clooney's suits. But this is okay. This is fine. I just have a couple of nitpicky things.
So this is okay. So there's the Dark Knight. Do you think? So Ross, do you think Begins was better than Dark Knight?
For simplicity, yeah. There's like too much definition going on in that.
This is weird. Like this,
but I don't. It's not that I dislike it. I'm just because you gave me a choice.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't dislike either one of them. I mean, all of these costumes have to serve like so many masters. You got the toy company. You got the actual lighting on the set of making the movie.
100%.
You got the believability of could this like really operate in the real world? You got the actor having to wear the suit on the set that's got to be lit and all this others. So I mean, the fact that they were able to pull off anything to me is like a miracle. But and the fact that they gave enough of a damn in these movies to make it look like somewhat believable, I give them extra points for that. The other ones were just kind of like, yeah, I mean, if you don't care and you're just going for spectacle, the other ones were fine too. Then they made like nice looking action figures, but you know, is anybody actually going to fight any kind of crime in those things? No. So
Andrew says your father passed away. Girl, sorry to hear that, man.
Sorry
he left you with $750,000 worth of comics. Wow. And thanks for being here and saying that you enjoy the channel. That's sad about your dad, but you do have a lot of comics. Wow. So
he's really a good father to leave you that many.
Yeah, great father to leave you all those comics. So yeah, okay. So I like this cowl better than this cowl.
Yeah. Agreed.
I like this cape formation better than this cape formation.
Yeah.
The belts are okay. Both belts are fine. I don't like this. Like, why is there like, this is weird.
I don't like that either. It loses the bat symbol actual definition. Yeah. It looks like two rectangles smashed together.
Yeah,
I prefer the other one with that.
So I think overall the Batman Begins one is better for me overall. Yeah. But there's some things, but this is like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like,
it's too much like we're trying to like show he's got armor. I don't understand. Like it's just weird.
Yeah, I think Steve, you said what's the guy's name? Ben Affleck. His is the best.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the best suit.
Accuracy and everything else, he looks great. I mean, I don't like the little nubby ears, but it's like that's okay. I mean, that is a legit Batman look too. You know, nubby ears, tall ears.
Yeah, it's the Frank Miller, which I like.
Yeah,
it's the Frank Miller one, which is very distinctive, and you can look at it and you're like, it's Batman. Now the old guys you could say was Batman, but it's just like if I take a look, if I look back, I just start wheeling away, and my vision starts to get a little bit more blurry. It looks like the symbol's not as defined. It looks sleeker, but I think to your point, Ross, it's also like you have to take into account the actor wearing the suit. Like there's different physiques. Yeah. Right? Some are going to be a little bit sleeker and more, less defined.
It's more like a wetsuit.
There he's doing the William Shatner sucking in his gut thing. So
yeah, you're right. You're right, Andrew. It's probably just like, yeah.
So and the weird Flash version suit. Why was there all this weird shit on top of it?
I have no idea.
Like, actually, his head and cape were awesome.
Yeah.
See, I'll be honest, I haven't seen that one yet. I probably won't. I just can't.
I didn't. I'm like the only person who didn't despise that movie. My wife really liked it too. She really
liked it. I like the Flash. I'll admit it.
Yeah, I thought it was
fine, but like that whole second half of all the part twos of the DCU stuff, I was just kind of like. Captain Marvel, the Shazam Captain Marvel is one of my favorite comic book characters. I thought the first movie was fine. Didn't see the second one. Didn't see Aquaman 2.
I thought Captain or Shazam 2 was better than Shazam 1, and I thought Aquaman 2 was probably better than Aquaman 1.
You know what? It's possible. I just kind of gave up. It's just But on set, watching this movie again now, knowing everything we've known before and since, it moves like lightning fast. Even the parts that don't have the Batman stuff in it, like even the training stuff, it's just like boom, 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 boom.
Oh yeah,
Going in that first hour when he's in China, and then he goes to the ninja thing, and then they train him to be a ninja, and he fights ninjas, and that stuff like moves lightning fast. And even the rolling into his backstory, like the origin story that sent him off to China with the gangster and the Falcone and all that. But this movie had to do so much.
Yeah.
First of all, it had to establish, like, okay, if you didn't like the cartoony other movies, if you're a normie, you'll like this one. And if you like Batman stuff, you're going to get to see Lucius Fox. You're going to get to see, and forget about Falcone, because I know he's like in the comics and all that, but I hadn't read like those issues of the comics or whatever. So, but it's like, you're going to get to see Commissioner Gordon. You're going to get to see a bat signal. You're going to get to see Alfred. You're going to get to see you're going to see Ra's al Ghul. All this cartoon stuff and comic book stuff. Scarecrow. It's like almost 2 or 3 movies worth of stuff packed into this one, and they race through a lot of it, but it makes a lot of, for a movie that's got no, as you said, no real fantasy stuff. All of it makes sense.
Yeah.
They tied the beginning training stuff in with the Ra's al Ghul destroy the city plot at the end. There's like this middle part where you get to see Batman do Batman stuff and fight gangsters. There's like low-key call-outs to iconic images from the comics, like the swarming bats from the Batman Year One, and then the horse, the horse bit when they're going through the Narrows.
Yeah, the horse bit, him standing up on the thing with the cape flowing off and all.
Yeah, right. There's a ton of that stuff. I mean, they really tried to give you, as a comic book fan, as much as they could in a movie that had almost no fantasy in it, other than, you know, he could do all that stuff and not get killed.
Right, that is fantasy. Hey, I want to say this too. I know. I thought Patrick Wilson should have been Aquaman. Someone bought the 2 toys of Ocean Master and Aquaman, and they removed their heads and swapped them. And you're like, oh my god, Patrick Wilson's the real Aquaman.
Yeah,
it's like he's the real Aquaman.
I'll tell you what, you could sell me an Aquaman 2 right now. How much is Dolph Lundgren back for Aquaman?
Yeah, he's in it.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
okay. I'll get to it.
Yeah, he's in it. And the two brothers team up, and they're pretty fun together.
Dolph Lundgren. All you have to do is say Dolph.
and Black Manta is on fire. He's like, he's trying to. Yeah, they didn't kill the baby. Spoiler: the baby does die in the comics. It didn't die in the movie. Fine. I guess if you have to change something from the comics, you can have a baby not get killed. But anyway, but yeah. So no. Yeah, like, I mean, you're right. There's a lot of great Batman imagery for a movie that's not a Batman thing. There's no Batcave. There is a little bit, but he doesn't really use it. The Tumblr's a little weird because I do like the Batmobile, but they are using the sort of, it's a mixture of the Frank Miller stuff, right? I love Frank Miller. I own many Frank Miller things. My Batman tattoo is based off the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns Batman. Right. I love Dark Knight Strikes Again. I just reread it today again for like the 8th time or something. We did a stream on it, and I hated it when I first read it, and then I came around so bad that I actually bought the original. I bought the original issues of it to have the originals. Anyways,
when I bought those at I got them, like, you know, as they were coming out at the comic store, and the guy, we had to pre-order them if you wanted them. So the guy hands me my copy, and I give him the money. He goes, "I'm sorry, I have to sell this to you, but you pre-ordered."
Well, that guy was an idiot, because you're selling stuff. You should always be pumped up for what you're selling. Otherwise, get out. It's like, it's like, dude, this is awesome. I can't wait for you to read it. Like,
no, that's how he instills trust.
Yeah, but he still has to sell product.
If he while he's taking my money says, like, this isn't the best thing ever, but then later on says, hey, here's this thing you didn't pre-order, it's pretty good, you might want to check it out, I'll trust him then.
Well, he was wrong, because it was awesome. So I would have come back and said, I don't trust you anymore because this was awesome. You obviously don't know anything.
Yeah,
So
well, he's
that's
dead
why,
now, so I hope that makes you feel better.
yeah, it does, because now I won the argument.
Yeah.
You can't argue back.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the campaign for this
Mhm.
is awesome. I think
Yeah.
Steve has this poster, right? You have this one, right?
Yeah.
Which poster do you have? This one?
I have that one. Yeah.
I love this poster.
Yeah.
It's my absolute. This is my favorite of all the Batman posters. It looks. I love the lighting here. It just looks cool. Even this poster is good too with the jumping down. Like that's badass. I think this is much better than the generic teal and orange, like the blue and orange posters that plagued all films. And then they did it for Dark Knight. And every movie, there's a YouTube video, if you can find it, it's like blue and orange posters, because blue and orange are complementary colors.
Yeah.
Red and complementary colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yellow and green are complementary. No, red and green are complementary. Yeah, so it's like the opposite, right? And purple and yellow are complementary colors. So literally, there was a few years where every poster was blue and orange. Blue and orange movie posters. Let's just see what comes up. Movie posters. Yeah, like look.
Wow. Yeah, you were not.
Look at this.
I own some of them. I own some of them.
Look.
Yeah.
Every one of these, it's the same damn thing, right? It's like, what is happening? Look.
Yeah.
These are different franchises.
Dang.
Yeah. Anyways, so Batman Begins at least picked something.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know.
Well, I remember people saying like, "Oh, it's so low key" and all that, but it's like it needed to be to get people. Like you had to sell people on that it's not going to be Batman and Robin 2.0. 2.0. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of like this is a classy art movie that has all the Batman, and yet it has all the comic book stuff you're going to want to see in it, and yet it all makes sense, and yet so. You know, it had a lot of, and yet the Joker's not in it. So, you know, we're going to make you wait for that one. But
Ray. Okay, so in Egyptian mythology, Re and Ra, so that's Ra, sun god, Ra and Ray. Mm-hmm. It's you can pronounce it Ray or Ra, and it's still correct. You could say Ray, so Raz Al Ghul, or Raish Al Ghul, right? Mm-hmm. Like it, I think so. The problem is that, see, we're entering into the how do you pronounce stuff, because as a kid I couldn't pronounce jack shit. I could not say Galactus. To this day I want to say Galactus, right? Mm-hmm. Like I added I don't know, like as a kid we would say, oh, Galactus, right?
All right. So who here, when you were a kid, used to say Magneto instead of Magneto?
I don't remember what I said for that one. I only remember I mispronounced Galactus. Mm-hmm. Now, how is it spelled in the comics, Ra's al Ghul? Because you'd say Ra's al Ghul. Now, how is it? Yeah, so it's R-A. So they're pronouncing it the way it's spelled, mm-hmm. right? But R-A and R-E are the same. Right. I remember that from my history. I like history and stuff, so I remember that. So Ra and Ray is like the same thing. So I believe, what's the animated series say? Raish?
I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
I don't even remember how him being in. I know he was in it, but I don't remember those episodes.
Chris Claremont still says it's Magneto.
Oh, yeah.
Magneto.
No,
I knew how to say Magneto because it's in the video games.
Yeah.
It's in the video games. So no, I didn't say Magneto. Because remember, so Ross, we're looking at these comics after all this other media is out. So if it's in a cartoon, like Mysterio, I knew how to say, Mysterio. And now you know from your luchador,
right.
but anyways, I would have known how to say Magneto because I would have seen the games and the
video
cartoon.
game. Yeah.
Well, I used to say Submariner, not knowing.
Yes, I would say
clue that Submariner was.
I said Submariner too because submarine.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like the clever play on words that they were going for.
Yeah, the Submariner. Submariner. Now there's the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner for the Iron Maiden song, which is the poem, but the Iron Maiden did a song of it or whatever. So I should have known maybe by that, but your dad taught you better. Why you said Brahmin in third movie, never used him. He looked perfect for Robin. Yeah, he didn't get, a white Scottish Irishman playing Roz. Yeah, I mean,
maybe he should have gone up against Sean Connery from Highlander and two Scottish Egyptians.
And he's supposed to be Spanish or something, isn't he? Ramirez.
Yeah, I think originally he was from Egypt, and then he was cosplaying as a Spanish peacock.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, it's Raish, like Rashalgo, whatever. First of all, is this a hot take? I hate that stupid name. If you can't pronounce the guy's name, it's trash. It's like, can't you just call him the Ghoul then or something, or Count Ghoul or something? I don't know. Like as soon as I saw that name anyways in comics, I was like, I don't know how to pronounce this, so this is stupid.
I'll tell you what. Get rid of Ra's al Ghul altogether and have his sexy daughter Talia be the main villain.
Yeah. No one would complain about that, man.
Right?
No one would complain about that.
Yeah, Ra's
al Ghul. No one would worry
that's where you bring in oh man, I can't think of her name. The talented actress from the Matrix movies.
Oh, Monica Bellucci.
You bring in Monica Bellucci from 20 years ago as Talia.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So what'd you guys think of the the soundtrack of this one?
But
it builds.
I heard that what's his name doesn't know how to actually compose music. Well, I mean, he doesn't know how to read or write. Well, he can compose it obviously, but he even less than Danny Elfman, he can't read or write music.
Oh.
If you look really closely in the video "Killed the Radio Star" video, he's playing the bass. He was one of the Buggles.
Oh,
yeah.
The problem with the soundtrack for this one was I liked the soundtrack for all of the previous Batman movies pretty much. So when it came to this one, it wasn't as memorable to me because of the '89 Batman. And like, I love the Batman Forever soundtrack, even though that movie doesn't do it for me. I love the soundtrack to that. I love Batman Begins, that whole like fantasy meld with the '89 theme. I really like that, the gothic overtones, and even Batman and Robin. So when it came to this one, it just wasn't as memorable to me. I didn't dislike it. It didn't do anything for me.
It didn't have any memorable themes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So.
Not really.
Yeah, I like well, I have I actually have, I think it's 2 discs. It's 2 CD Batman and Robin soundtrack, the score. The soundtrack that came out has like songs in it, right? Like but like the actual score is awesome, and this is a limited blah 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 whatever copies soundtrack. So I've got that. I can loan it to you guys if you want it. My favorite Hans Zimmer score, and the only one that I purchased, is Wonder Woman 84. The music is awesome, and that it's very like, it's like, I don't know, it just gets me pumped up. Like it's I'm trying to think of I think, do I have Batman on here? Like, I actually purchased some on my phone, so I don't know if I may have Batman Begins.
I thought
no, I don't have Batman.
Caribbean was pretty exciting.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, is that his too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Gladiator. Shit, that was fantastic.
Gladiator. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. I watched Gladiator in the theater. I thought it was okay. My buddy Owen got it for me for my birthday or something on 4K, and I watched about an hour of it. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm good. I don't know. I just can't seem to get into that movie. I'll try again and sit down and watch it, but like, I lose interest very quickly. It's
really, I
yeah.
love that one and Pirates. I thought were
I didn't know he did Pirates.
He did Back to the Future.
Wait,
he did Back to the Future. So that
what?
Yeah.
No, he was like in the Buggles when he went back to the
No, it's in. I'm looking at his discography. Back to the Future is part of his discography.
Well, he might have done something because maybe he did something for it, but we got it on screen right now.
He was as composer. He was credited as composer.
Where's his bloody thing on here?
Rain Man, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's see. Where's his
Backdraft? Backdraft was awesome. That soundtrack.
Okay, so for me, I only know him. Like, obviously, I'm not recognizing that he's known. Like, to me, it's all these like these like crappy 2000s movies he did. I didn't realize he did all these awesome like older movies.
Crimson Tide has an awesome soundtrack. Broken Arrow, The Rock. Rock is an incredible soundtrack. Soundtrack's better than the movie. Mission Impossible 2.
I think he must have just like for Back to the Future. He must have just like.
He's the composer.
I don't understand how.
I thought that was Alan Silvestri, or maybe Alan Silvestri just did the theme music.
The main theme, yeah. Alan Silvestri did the main theme. Okay, so I mean, to me, that's Alan Silvestri's accomplishment.
Sure,
because the other music is just whatever.
Oh, music by Alan Silvestri. Why is he credited as composer, Ben?
No, he maybe did, but not the main theme.
Okay.
Like for example, Danny Elfman did the Army of Darkness March of the right, but then the rest of it is what's his name who does all of the what's the name of the guy who does all the evil? It's like every Sam Raimi soundtrack.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Joe
DeLuca?
Yeah.
He did like the Xena music and Hercules.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. Army of Darkness. Where's music? So Danny Elfman composed the thing, and then the rest is Joseph DeLuca. Yeah. I had the Xena soundtrack on CD.
Me too.
Oh, awesome! All right, so hold on, let's get back to Batman Begins. Well, anyways, I still really like the Wonder Woman 84 soundtrack. And that's the only one of his that I knew of that because I feel like all the other ones were like this drony sound that's always the same. Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond.
Gotta admit, Morgan Freeman. Oh, Morgan Freeman's awesome.
Yeah.
You like the soundtrack for Batman Forever? Yeah. Not the musical score. That sucks. Leo said all the soundtracks are good, but could have done more. Yeah. How about the Batman serial is pronounced Batman? Yeah, Batman.
Yeah,
Batman. No, they say Ribbit. If you watch any old thing with robots, they say Ribbit.
Ribbit. Yeah.
There was an episode of Futurama where Bender's on TV, but he's like in the living room, like talking, and Zoidberg turns over and goes, "Quiet, Robot. Bender's on TV." Ribbit. Yeah. So the soundtrack was passable, but we're not like super dying over it. The Danny Elfman Batman theme is awesome.
Yeah.
That's a clearly awesome theme.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing beats the Superman theme, of course, but
by John Wayne.
So what about so Gore? I mean, I thought Gary Oldman was awesome in this.
He was. Like the cast for this movie was incredible. If you think about it, like Cillian Murphy, Liam Neeson,
he's awesome.
Like Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, Gary
Oldman.
Oldman,
Getting all these British people to play good American characters.
This is why I struggled with Katie Holmes. I'm like,
I'm totally an attorney.
Yeah, like that's why I was like, she's a bit out of her element here. This isn't Dawson's Creek. This is an adult thing. You're not. You're playing to big boys now.
You know what though? It's like I don't know if it's because a lot of women's roles have become so insufferable in modern movies. She seemed fine, even though it was very clear like. They were trying to give her something to do so she wasn't just a damsel in distress.
Well, Rush, you're right, because I mean, if I look at the performances of the other main female characters in the other two movies, like Maggie Gyllenhaal, if you replaced her, and I don't hate Maggie Gyllenhaal, but if you replaced her with a latex dummy in Dark Knight, I probably wouldn't have noticed. He adds nothing to the movie, and I actually don't mind Dark Knight Rises, but I did not like Anne Hathaway about she doesn't know.
Oh, you mean as the not Catwoman?
As a Catwoman, non-Catwoman. I didn't understand her character. Like, I didn't understand. They kept going back to her, and I'm like, but she's not doing anything. Why is she still here?
That was a bridge too far, where they were like trying to not get too cartoony and comic booky. It's like, for this one, like, go there, go right ahead and give us the comic book character and call her Catwoman and make her a cat burglar. It'll be fine by this point. I mean, you already got Bane, and that's a tough one to take sometimes. So Catwoman counterbalance. Plus, that whole trilogy needs a little bit of sex appeal by the time you get to the third one. So,
yeah, big time.
I mean, I didn't like her character. She was just very irritating. Like, I mean, I definitely liked all this. But like for sure, that's 10 out of
it. I mean,
I mean, like, that's a 10 out of 10. But her character is like irritating, and
garbage.
I find her irritating in a lot of her movies, man. Like, it's like inversely proportional. All right, it's like ooh, it's gonna be, Anne Hathaway's in this. Is like, oh wait.
Let me address Andrew Man here for just a second. It's just because British people can fucking act. That's why.
That's right.
That's true. There was a bit on an American TV show where it was one of those hidden candid camera type of bits, and the thesis was Americans will buy anything British people tell them or say with a British accent, and so it was like it was like a salesman going through this like pitch for somebody, and the Americans were going like, oh yes, okay, yes. Just because we think that's cool and classy, and when I say British accent, I mean like the Hollywood British accent, which is, Michael Caine's Cockney is even like not really Cockney. So. But anyway.
Thank you, Jim. She looks like Catwoman. Like, when I saw the casting, I'm like, well, she's Catwoman. She looks like Catwoman. And then I saw her character. I'm like, what is this? And they kept going back to her. And I said, is she supposed to be something of importance? And at the end, when he's with her, I'm like, where did that come from? That I completely like that one.
Yeah.
I missed a boat on that one.
Right.
They just it felt like they shoehorned it in because we need two villains. It's like after they did the two villains in Batman Forever, it was kind of like, we're going to be doing two villains in every movie, and that includes Spider-Man.
Batman Returns.
It became like this plague that ran through all the superhero movies.
So Batman's just Joker, but it does introduce Two-Face. But Batman Returns has Penguin and Catwoman.
Right.
Then they've got those two. Then they've got Bane, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, and they have the Floronic Man from Swamp Thing who dies in the beginning. Poison Ivy kills Jason Woodrue. I'm like, you just killed like one of Swamp Thing's villains. What the shit is that all about?
Right.
And it's like, and then Bane is just a complete idiot in that movie. But like, why is there like 100 movies? Like, all of this, I say this on almost every stream related to superheroes. One villain, develop that guy, make it about him.
Right, because by the time we got to even Spider-Man 3 with the Raimi ones, you got Sandman and
Venom,
cheapo version, Timu version of Venom, and wasn't there and Hobgoblin essentially? So,
like a weird Hobgoblin,
the green skateboarder,
off-brand Hobgoblin. So
wrong,
So that just became a rash in all this in the superhero movies for a while there. Like,
you just have like, okay, Batman Begins, they introduced Scarecrow a little bit, so you're like, okay, maybe, but I would have even had him having it, Ra's al Ghul come back and like be the villain, and he should have had the full thing, the cape, and have a couple of battles. Like, that would have been sick. You don't need all that other stuff. Like Falcone, I don't like, he sucks anyway, so it doesn't matter if he's there or not. He's not really a big. But like I know. So Christian Bale, is Christian Bale the best? Okay, let's do it this way. Is he, because how many people is Bruce Wayne? He's 3 people, because he's Bruce Wayne, the fake public image of him being a goof and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Bruce Wayne, the real Bruce Wayne of him just being a guy, like, you know, with Alfred. You really only see him with Alfred. In this movie, you only really see him with Alfred and Rachel, the real Bruce Wayne.
Right, okay.
And then there's the Batman persona, which you really only see with Commissioner Gordon. And, you know, and then you could say there's angry Batman where the criminals see him that way. So you could say he's between 3 and 4 different people. But let's say he's 3 people. Mm-hmm. Was Christian Bale the best of any of these 3, or was he the best in all 3? Or like, it's like there's who's the best Bruce Wayne? Because like I actually think, and people are gonna lose their minds here, but George Clooney as the public image of Bruce Wayne is the best. Like he looks like he's like, oh yeah, he's this guy's with the tall Al McPherson. But when he's alone at Wayne Manor, he sucks because he just basically looks like he's the same character almost, right?
See, that's why I was careful when I said it wasn't George Clooney's fault that the 4th one was terrible, because there were his performance, given what he had to work with, that weren't awful.
Yeah. So okay. So what about Christian Bale? What do you think? Okay, so let's do this here. What do you think of him as the public persona of Bruce Wayne?
Go ahead, Steve.
I think he's good. I don't know if the problem is that he shows to me too much interest in what's going on at Wayne Tech, and like the like I like him when he's pretending to be the playboy and all that stuff, but he's too serious. Like Bruce Wayne to me has no discernible public interest in any of what's going on at Wayne Tech. He obviously does, because that's where he gets all his stuff from. But he's just kind of like he's a little bit too smart, plays himself too smart when he's in public. For me,
I get what you're saying. He should have let Lucius do the talking.
Yeah, he should have let Lucius do more of the talking.
Okay, so let's define this again, just to be clear. Okay, there's public persona Batman. There's Batman. This is what, it's Batman. Then there's private Bruce Wayne. So that's Rachel, Lucius, Alfred. That's the real Bruce Wayne. And then there's the public. Yes, you're right. The public Bruce Wayne was great in the, where he's like, I'm buying this hotel and the women are jumping into the pool and all that. That's funny. Mm-hmm. I was like, the women shouldn't be in that thing. That's great. But then the public version of Bruce Wayne is still going into the meeting and saying, oh, didn't you get the memo when I'm taking over? It's like, wait a minute. I thought you were a goof 5 minutes ago. Yeah. So that was weird. He should have, in private Bruce Wayne is definitely like that. Yeah. But then he should let Lucius take control and be like, here's what you do to get, the blind swordsman out of, Rutger Hauer's the Blind Fury, right?
Fury, yeah.
J-Man doesn't go for the Blade Runner, Roy Batty. He goes.
No, I'm going for the super deep cut. I'm not Roy Batty.
My brother.
Yeah. Because if you notice, J-Man, Lucius figures out he's Batman without needing to investigate.
You're right.
And to me, that's something Batman wouldn't do. Sorry, that wouldn't happen.
Well, that's why he's just beginning, though. He's just figuring it out.
Yeah.
So maybe he streamlines it later on, but kind of doesn't really. So the question was the best of all the movie Batmans?
What? Yeah, like the live action. Let's say live action Batmans. You can throw Adam West in there too, like because there's 3 personas of Batman. Is Christian Bale the best in any one of those, or what do you think of each of one of those? So let's say the public. So right now, let's just do the public perception, the public image of Bruce Wayne. Do you think he was good as the public image of Bruce Wayne?
I think he was. Of all the actors who played Batman, using a combination of believability in the role, the 3 roles that you said that he had to take on to be a successful Bruce Wayne and or Batman, and the physicality, I'm going to say yes to Christian Bale. Plus, he had the advantage of much better material to work with than most of the other guys. I thought Michael Keaton was good, but the problem is that that's a Tim Burton version of Batman that even Tim Burton couldn't keep to the, because in the original script, they make a much bigger deal about Batman having like a collection of armory and ancient armor and ancient weapons, and Bruce Wayne's got like a whole hallway of this kind of stuff, which you do see in the movie, but it's like a thing. So when he comes out in the bulky kind of rubbery armored suit as Batman, it's kind of like, oh, it makes sense. He's been like prepping for this a long time. The way it plays out in the movie, it's like Tim Burton didn't understand the screenplay, and it's like, oh, now it's Michael Keaton in a rubber suit. But the way it was meant to be played was like he's this kind of shrimpy guy, not very big physique guy, who puts on this thing that makes him into a big, scary beast. To keep it comic accurate, you would need either a guy who's either Ben Affleck or the guy who plays Jack Reacher. But to see that played out in live action, which works okay in the animated series, but when you see that in a live action film, and then you put the costume on top of this guy who's already 6'3" or whatever. I mean, Ben Affleck played it off fine because he was up against Superman. He was up against Superman and Wonder Woman in one of those movies. Well, two of those movies. So, so he didn't seem like gigantic and cartoonishly huge, but like you'd have this guy who's like 6'3". You put the bat suit on top of him. It's like, oh yeah, I totally don't recognize you as Batman. You know, Mr. 6'3" Bruce Wayne. It couldn't possibly be you in that costume as well. So you kind of need an average physique, but wiry guy like Christian Bale to play Batman, and everybody else who's played him, you know, with Michael Keaton on the smaller end, and Val Kilmer looks kind of average. George Clooney looks a little bigger, like he looks a little more Batman-y, I think. Bruce Wayne-y, Batman-y, comic accurate wise, because he seems like a tall guy. He's handsome. He's in good shape. But we'll never know because the material they had to work with was like more cartoonish than the animated series.
I think the thing is that if I think about all of the actors who played Bruce Wayne, not Batman, and what I would expect them to be Batman, Michael Keaton was good. There was two mistakes they made with him, which is he actually knew what his stuff was, which I didn't agree with. Like the Batman trap, like the Bruce Wayne trapping has to be, he doesn't care about any of this stuff. He's living, you know, he's basically that heir who's pissing away his fortune on frivolous and hedonistic things because he doesn't want people to connect. You know, that he is Batman. So for me, Michael Keaton knows too much. And he's still too like into what he's doing. Val Kilmer was definitely not a good Bruce Wayne because he knew he was way too smart. He knew to turn down Jim Carrey's character right off the bat. When Jim Carrey says, "Well, I need an answer," he's like, "Well, the answer is no, because you're not doing it." Like I have to actually, it's not just because it's streaming. I have to agree with J-Man because if I look at George Clooney, billionaire playboy who doesn't care, that's George Clooney. And
that he's good as that. Billionaire playboy doesn't care. That's definitely George Clooney.
He's good at that. You know, Ben Affleck definitely was not Bruce Wayne to me.
He's the worst.
Yeah,
he's the worst Bruce Wayne.
Like,
so,
hold
on. Yeah,
go ahead, Steve.
Yeah.
So it's difficult because they're trying to. They don't want to stray too far that Bruce Wayne is Batman. They don't have the courage to make Bruce Wayne not like Batman. And I think what they have to do, if you really want to be accurate, is to make Bruce Wayne not be like Batman. That would be the truest to the character for me.
Adam West, so could not be reached as much. See, Adam West didn't have the opportunity to do Batman, to play that third version because he's not, Bruce Wayne isn't in it that much. He's pretty much Batman immediately in those shows. Like he's doing one small thing at his house
Right.
And then the call to action comes in. So the public persona of Bruce Wayne and the private image of Bruce Wayne is one and the same. There is only one, because he's not out there being a playboy and being there, because they always say, oh, these rich playboys and he's out on his yacht and all that. But like they just assume that he's there. Oh, he's never around because he's on his yacht, or he's somewhere doing something. You never see it happen because there's no time in the show to even have that as a story. I would assume that Adam West would be the best if they allowed that to be part of the Batman story in that show. Mm-hmm. Because I love Adam West. I think I love that Batman show. I love Adam West. I think he's awesome. But yeah, they didn't give him the opportunity to play that. So he's not really in this discussion because he's not that playboy character. They just say it in words. Like it's like, oh, these playboys are always out doing something. They never show anything because it's like, well, Batman is doing stuff. That show is just Batman immediately. Like it's literally 5 minutes at the beginning, not even 5 minutes. It's like 2 minutes at the beginning with Aunt Harriet. Oh, Bruce.
Yeah.
And then like 1 minute at the end. Well, thanks, Commissioner, for saving the day. And then, that's it, right? Like that's it. And then he's just Batman. So it's hard to judge. I want to say hi to Daniel, who's here.
Which is why, as a kid, I thought that was like the greatest thing ever, because he's like Batman for most of the show. Here's the other meta thing too that almost nobody brings into it. The board's Playboy persona was based on Don Diego de la Vega from Zorro,
right?
And the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Yeah.
So they were that. And it's like an overly, like it's comically exaggerated, like well, it's so exhausting. I shall have to leave right now. And then he turns into Batman. But and that was a trope. And that wasn't just from that. That was a trope. Like the Spider was that way. They all those characters kind of borrowed from each other because they were all coming out at the same time. So the only one who actually played it that way and as a plot convenience or as a plot point was Christian Bale, to my recollection, because even Michael Keaton, he didn't play like bored playboy. He was like he was like a distracted, absent-minded professor.
Yeah.
So he was too, like, it wasn't that he just knew. He was just kind of like socially awkward. Well, he's basically Tim Burton. He was like socially awkward and obviously had this grand plan to fight crime and all the daily things like getting enough sleep and changing his underwear. Like Alfred had to remind him to do all that stuff.
I don't think Tim Burton. Look, I love Batman '89 and Batman Returns is my favorite. I love Batman Returns, but they're not Batman. They're not real Batman movies. They're just Tim Burton movies with Batman characters repainted to what he wants them to be.
Yes.
The thing with '89 is that it was close enough. I wasn't even born. Andrew, we're gonna have to have a talk. If you say all that, then you don't love Batman. Without Adam West, there is no Batman. Batman's comic was selling 2 issues a year. It's like no one cared about Batman. He's a trash character. There was Superman and Superboy, and then there's all other comics. It's like, who do you like better, Flash or Batman? I don't know, maybe Flash. Who do you think is better, like the Golden Age Adam, or or Batman? They're the same. Batman was a garbage nothing character. So Adam West made that a household name, and not only that, all the villains. Quick, name 10 Superman villains. Quick, name 10 Flash villains. Now, if you're a comic guy, you can name them. Name 10 Batman villains, and you will just rip. And that's because of Burgess Meredith, Cesar Romero, Julie Newmar, Frank Gorshin, the 14 guys that played Mr. Freeze, Eli, whatever. Now, that's all because Bryce Egghead. That is all because of Adam West. So it's like you're saying, I love science, but Einstein was kind of retarded. It's like, okay, well, I don't know that. You can't say that. You could say it's not for me, I don't watch anymore, but saying F Adam West is absolutely crazy. Like, that's crazy talk. It's like, oh, F Christopher Reeve Superman. Okay, so then there's no Superman.
Well, I mean, even DC Comics has embraced the Adam West one. They've got the comic. They have an Adam West Batman comic that's official. And
yes, what your kids.
And they got the cartoon too.
Hold on, you reminded me. I want to get back to this. Andrew brought this back up. Okay, here's what's happening. We're losing. So somebody asked about Batman earlier of the comics. We're losing people. You know why you're losing them? You're aging them out. It's like my niece and nephew can't watch any Batman stuff now. It's over. So Batman's dead to them.
Yeah.
It's like there's no Batman for them. There's nothing. It's like, and then this latest one, this 4-hour like black screen here, like the Batman movie was a black screen for 3 hours. And it's like, you've lost everybody because my nieces and nephews can't go see it. Anyone who isn't a Batman fan, like a lot of the, like, even like I have nieces and nephews who are like maybe like 16, 16, 17. They're like, this is like, what is this? This is boring, right? Yeah. Like, you don't care. Yeah. So you're losing people. You need to, I had a Superman cake as a kid. And it's like, well, Batman should be darker and whatever. Perfect. Now no one's watching it. I have, and before anyone says anything too, the Batman, I've seen that movie 3 times. I own it on 4K. I have every figure that came out for it and the toys. I've got the Batmobile right there. I have the making of art book. I've got the soundtrack. So I'm a Batman shill. It's Batman. I'm gonna buy it anyways. Yeah. I'm just telling you. We put that on for my wife. She was like, "Oh dear Lord, what is going on?" She's like, "I'm like, is it, how much longer is it? Oh, there's still 2 hours and 15 minutes. What? I thought it was already 2 hours.
We gotta flood the city now.
It's
big with the flood.
Probably one of the most uncomfortable viewing experiences I think I've had in quite a while.
Yeah.
Literally, J-Man will tell you, I was fidgeting, and I usually don't fidget, and I was fidgeting.
No, okay, right, but hold on, I don't want to beat up the movie. That's not my point. My point isn't to beat up the movie.
No.
My point isn't to beat up the movie. My point is to say that thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it. My point isn't to beat up that movie. So in the art book, I've got the art book, which is the making of. Yeah. First page. What's the fellow's name? Tim? No.
Patterson?
No. The maker.
Matt Reeves?
Matt Reeves. Okay. Matt Reeves says, as a kid, I loved Batman. I loved watching the shows and cartoons. Perfect. You just made something that a kid can't watch. So what do you love about it? You loved it so much that you now made something that no one can watch unless they're 40-plus-year-old men who just love Batman and are willing to accept anything Batman related just so a movie comes out.
I didn't love, and I'm not going to shit on it either because like there was a lot to like.
Baseline,
I just sat there going like, this is the best 9th Batman movie that I could maybe hope for because the thing, but you're right about the thing with the kids too, and most of the kids like, and this is across the board, comic books, whatever. They either know it from the cartoons, they know it from the movies, or they know it from the video games. And I've seen, I don't play video games, but I've seen clips from Batman video games, and I'm like, why don't you do that for the next movie? You know, why don't you do Arkham Asylum that looks like the video game?
I will shit on that movie, but I choose not to because I've already shit on that movie, and to give it more oxygen lends it credibility. So I will not.
Right. What's Andrew? What do you mean? Old Superman? I don't know what old Superman means. Like, do you mean like the black and white? You know what? You know what's funny? They keep saying George Reeves, the black and white, but it was color. Most of it was in color. Yeah. It was only the first or second season that was black and white. I think people just they're just like, oh, it's black and white. I was like, ooh, it was like 5 seasons. Is it 5 seasons?
Or the serial where he turns into a cartoon character.
Yeah, there's the serial where he's a cartoon when he flies. That's Kirk Allen.
The Fleischer cartoons.
There's the Fleischer cartoon. Oh, those are great. I hope you're not talking about my buddy Christopher Reeve right there because
maybe hard to watch because of the wartime depictions of the Japanese.
Oh, I can't even say the name of some of the cartoon episodes.
No.
There's
I was very careful. No, I was very careful.
Slap a something, and you're like, really? Like Superman says slap whatever. You're like,
yeah.
It's just hard to watch. It's not hard to watch for me. I just read
Japanese.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, like anybody can watch any. Look, my theory is that anyone can like or not like whatever they want to like. They can like it or not like it. What I'm saying is that you can't ignore importance of something because you don't like it. It's like you have to. This is the correct response. Andrew, I'll tell you the correct response. The correct response is, I can't get into the Adam West Batman, but I realize that without it, I wouldn't have the Batman I do like. So I have to give it props for making Batman a household name and pushing forward the character, the medium, the entire superhero genre. There's only I can't think of any more than 3, but we can try to. There's only 3 milestones. Number 1 is the Batman television series, because that's like wow, right? Next one after that, Superman Christopher Reeve. That's a big one. Next one is Batman 89. That's it. All other after that, because Batman Begins is not a big milestone. It's like, okay, it's just Batman 89, but it's done more serious and more pays attention to Batman as a character, develops the character a bit more. It's not like, wow, this changed something. You know what changed something? You know what's even more important? Maybe Batman and Robin. Sean says this. Batman and Robin is an important movie because it was so hated that it changed the course of all other superhero movies. Like, whoa, we can't go. This got too stupid. 1990. I like this movie a lot. I think it's great. But I
would argue the other one is Iron Man 1 because
Iron Man 1 is a good example because it brought Marvel back. Marvel was, again, here's the other thing too about Iron Man. We'll go back to Batman in a second. This is the thing with Iron Man. People like, Iron Man, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Iron Man. Look, Iron Man was not a trash character. He was a good character in comics, but he was a decent character. Marvel had no choice but to make an Iron Man movie because that was the only few characters they owned. When Marvel optioned out their characters for other media, right, cartoons and films and video games and stuff like that, that literally, who got picked up first? Spider-Man, boom, pick that guy up. X-Men. They literally thought Fantastic Four, they picked that one up. So people thought Ghost Rider and Punisher were more important than Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man because those 2 characters were purchased. People were like, what about this Iron Man character? He sucks. He doesn't sell comics. Oh, okay, forget it. Captain America, he's a loser. He's a Boy Scout. Forget it. Thor, is he a god? I don't, nah. So,
well, I mean, to be fair, Punisher and Ghost Rider could also be done effectively and cheaper. Yeah.
Correct. They're cheap characters. Absolutely. Yeah, they're cheap characters. But they didn't take it. So when they did Iron Man, it sort of proved everybody wrong a little bit. It's like, hey, Iron Man's a great character, right? Like, you can easily it's okay. Andrew, you're 100. You're good, man. You don't listen. I love Wonder Woman 19. Yeah, we're all good. I love Wonder Woman 1984. So you're okay. I love.
Wait, what? I'm done.
You're done?
Bye, Ross.
Later. No. Yeah. So anyway, baseline saying, I'm just glad DC's Captain Marvel got a movie. Unfortunately, not good. Yeah, that's true. Dick Grayson was a version of Batman Beyond. Yeah, we've missed a few of these Batman work on them. Could a non-Bruce Wayne Batman work? A non-Bruce Wayne Batman? Yeah, why not?
You're talking about Batman Beyond. You're talking about
they're talking about Batman Beyond. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so anyways, so that Iron Man proved that Iron Man is a good character. You get good actors behind it. You get good people who care about making a good quality movie, and you can have something pretty special. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's really, so the funny thing about that one too is much like Batman Begins, Iron Man's really not in the movie that much, but it's a fast-moving, exciting movie, and it's more of a drama than an action movie.
Yeah.
Hey, Ross.
Yes.
By the way, this guy, Billy, the actor, the real actor, is in Shazam 2.
I saw him at a convention maybe a year or two ago, and he let his hair go white, and he wasn't wearing a wig or anything, and I did not recognize him, and it looked like life had been pretty rough on him between the end of this series
Wow.
and now. So
He's an old fellow, isn't he?
he's quite elderly, and I like Indiana Jones said, it's not the years, it's the mileage. But also with Iron Man. So I was at San Diego Comic-Con when they dropped the trailer. I wasn't in Hall H, but I was outside of a Hall H, and you could hear. So the jokes and the memes prior to it were like, you know, everybody was saying like, "Oh, you use the Ozzy Osbourne, the Black Sabbath song Iron Man," and then when they showed him flying, and they played that music, it was like a wave of just.
Well, they had to play it. They just had to play it.
The building virtually shook. It was like,
yeah, that was awesome,
unbelievable. So and the other thing too was like a couple of other things they were saying, like, oh, Robert Downey Jr. at that time, he was better known for being in rehab, and then all the fans were like, that's exactly why he's perfect to play Tony Stark, even though they didn't lean into that part of the character. It was there. And also the movie played like somebody made an Excel sheet and said, or a Word document and said, here's 5 pages of everything that makes Iron Man, and 3 generations of comic book nerds will recognize Tony Stark, Iron Man. If he's called Tony Stark, something happens to him. He has to like invent something that keeps him going, builds in a metal suit, escapes from enemy soldiers. You just go down. Doesn't matter if it's Vietnam or Afghanistan. Just
they had to update it. Obviously,
that happens. And then like after midway after actually it was Guardians of the Galaxy. After Guardians of the Galaxy was a hit, they just snuffed that concept right out the window, and that Excel sheet and that Word document was lost somewhere in a computer crash, I guess. But
well, this movie is awesome. Mm-hmm. Why don't they just cheap out and make this movie live action?
I'm surprised actually.
Just lazy up. Just live action this movie. Look, can you imagine how awesome the Phantasm would look? Like they could really make her look like pretty badass if they wanted to.
And kids would think that's cool. Kids would like that.
Oh yeah. This is a cool movie.
Yeah.
Like this is the
Even
best.
Though it's not really for kids. Nor is that Batman Begins movie with the Joker.
Yeah, like this movie is obvious. This is the best movie. Like, but it's animated, so it's hard to. It's much easier to do cooler stuff with animation because you don't have to worry too much about your budget. Like I was watching some Frank Miller interviews when he's talking about RoboCop 2. He's like, I thought this was going to win an Oscar. I was so pumped for this movie, and it's like, and then I wrote this big thing out. They're like, Frank, this is unproducible. Like, your script cannot be made
at that time.
No, but he wrote this big thing. It's like Oliver Stone when he did the Conan script, and there's like armies of zombies, and they're like, well, okay, they're like Oliver.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What did you think the budget was on this? Like,
he was doing a lot of cocaine at the time too. Lesson learned, kids. Don't do cocaine and write big
cocaine, man.
Well, but it's like, what do you think is happening? Like, we're not making this movie that you have in your head is not happening. It's like, oh,
right, yeah.
So it's like you need to take all these scenes out. It's like, oh shit, okay. It's like I can't have RoboCop fighting like giant, massive robots. It's like no, like or whatever, right? It's like all this crap can't happen. It's like, oh, okay. See, I think there's guys who live in the comic world where you just need your pencil and your imagination, and then you can, you right? And then there's the no. This needs to be produced as a film. How are you going to shoot this scene? I don't know. Right.
You could spend a week drawing 300 Spartans,
right?
300 soldiers or whatever, and do like 3 or 4 splash pages. But we're going to have to like take these guys out somewhere and then feed them and
we got to feed
on their abs and make sure that they're healthy and let them talk to their wives every once in a while.
Yeah.
All the logistics that go into that stuff. So yeah, it's like you can draw it, but like it's going to cost a lot more to make it. I
really need to watch Return of the Caped Crusaders. Oh yeah, I have it. I own everything. I own every Batman related, including Scooby-Doo Batman. I own anything Superman and Batman. I own it. Like anything related, even adjacent. So Catwoman movies and all that. I pretty much own every DC thing there is to own, even the Harley Quinn cartoon series. I don't have the 3rd season though. And Stargirl season 3 for some reason is like not coming out on Blu-ray because of reasons. I don't know why, but I own everything. It's all you're not gonna be able to see it all because my tower, but it's it's all like behind there. All the DC stuff is below, underneath my Batman. I apologize for Funko Pops. So everyone is gonna loses their mind.
So is the stuff on the floor eventually just gonna kind of surround you? So there's like only 6 inches of space around your chair.
I don't know. It's like no. Oh, like this stuff is coming around. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like creeping across the floor at you.
Yeah, it's coming. Well, I have way more stuff than this. I got to put stuff in. I just did a cool Iron Man shelf though.
Nice.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I got to add a War Machine up in there.
Your pointing skills are amazing because that's
yeah, pretty good. There's 300. You were mentioning 300. There's my Leonidas bust. There's all the Hercules stuff. They made a Hercules Funko. I don't know if you knew that. That's pretty neat. They also did what's his face. I know everyone hates Funko Pops. That's fine. It's like I don't think Funko's too worried about it since every person in the planet, other than the few people that hate it, like buy them. It's like
I own them. They were given to me as gifts, and I wasn't going to insult the gift by saying no. So
there you go.
Do I have the Judge Dredd Funko Pop? Yes, I do. Do I have the Dolph Lundgren Funko Pop? Yes, I do.
So we'll Dark Knight Rises, Bane. So we'll start to wrap up shortly. I guess we can talk about random stuff. I mean, are we done with Batman Begins basically? Like, do we have anything else to say about Batman Begins? What did you rate it? What would you give it out of Steve? What would you give it out of 10?
10.
10 out of 10.
So let me clarify. I would give Batman Begins 10 out of 10. I would give Dark Knight 10 out of 10. I would give Dark Knight Rises 9 out of 10.
Okay.
I honestly like the thing with these 3 Nolanverse movies are they're almost I could run them into the ground for various reasons, but at the end of the day, they're awesome movies, and you can't argue that, in my opinion. Like just based on putting everything together, I might have qualms here and there, and I might have belly aches here and there, but at the end of the day, The Dark Knight has been, whenever I want to test out a 4K player, The Dark Knight's the first thing I usually put in just to see how it looks.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, and it looks awesome. It's like The Dark Knight is a testament to Christopher Nolan's abilities and to his vision. And the fact that he made these 3 films is an achievement. So to me, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10.
They probably couldn't get made the way they are, the way they came out now. Like now, you could not make those movies.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah, I probably look without doing my actual space review system, which I did do for Batman Begins. I don't remember what I gave it, but let's just forget that and just talk general. I would probably say 10, 9, 8 or something like that, or 10, 9.5, 8.5 or 9 or something like I like Batman Begins just a little smidge bit more. And Dark Knight Rises a little smidge less because I don't care about Anne Hathaway, and I really loved Bane, except for they changed that Talia is the one who crawls out of that pit and she's running it. Other than that, it's still pretty awesome. So you're not. This isn't Andrew. You're not Andrew, right? Like you're not our buddy Andrew, who we know. You're just because I wasn't sure if that was our Andrew, like who knows us. But anyways. He knows who I'm talking about. You would say, I did a poll. Oh, so sorry, Ross, what was your ratings? And then I'll look at the poll because we've got 27 votes.
Okay, so I'm going to go with so the short answer would be I would give this one an 8 out of 10. No. This would get a 7 out of 10. And then Dark Knight Rises would get the 8 out of 10. Or just the Dark Knight. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Scratch that. Batman Begins. 7 out of 10. Dark Knight Rises. The Dark Knight. 8 out of 10. And then the third one, whatever the hell it's called, gets a 6 out of 10.
All right. So let me clarify this for Phil here, because he comes on quite often. So we're judging these now as films. Now, if you want to say, what do you think of these as Batman interpretations?
Yeah.
Like this is not like these are just movies.
Yeah.
But what do you think about them? Yes, I might have Bat Thumb, or I don't know if that ever. I have Thumb Wars. I can't remember if Bat Thumb came out.
Oh,
if it came out properly, I should have Bat Thumb. But if we want to talk about these movies as Batman, not interpretations, or Batman, like examples of Batman or whatever, then I would be closer to what you're saying, Phil.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because right, so we got to. I should have made that distinction, and I make this distinction all the time. There has never been, except for Superman 1 and maybe Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
There's been maybe a very small handful of movies where I'm like, wow, this almost feels like the comic book. Like, like no Batman. Batman 89. I sat down and I was like, Batman didn't kill his parents. That's weird. I'm like, and then Joker didn't kill Batman's parents. That's weird. And then Joker died at the end. I was like, Joker's dead. What the hell? That sucks. Right. And I'm like, Joker's not this mob guy or whatever. So just to keep you, just to keep you on that. We'll come back to that point. I wanted to mention, guys, make sure you hit like on the stream. And also, if you're watching this on Sean's channel, I'd really appreciate if you subscribed to my channel, because Sean and I do similar content. If you're watching this on my channel, please make sure you're subscribed to Sean. And I want to put up, so Steven's an author. We'll talk about this in a minute as well, like before we we'll talk about it in a bit before we go to the after show. But just to let everybody know, Steve's got a website to check out some of his books, and Ross has a podcast that focuses on Judge Dredd and 2000 AD. So check that out. Okay, so go back to what we can say. How it takes.
I would rather just go to the Antarctic Press website and get your 1, 2, 3, and 4.
If you want to, yeah. Hey, Hot Takes, how's it going? We're going to be done in like, I don't know. We're closing out. If you want to, are you where? I don't even know how to contact you anymore. I feel like you're never on anything. Send me however you know me, Hot Takes, Twitter or Facebook. Send me a message on one of those platforms, and I'll send you the link. But we're gonna end in about like maybe half an hour. We can do another half an hour. So I want to mention to Phil, yeah, we're just talking about movies. Like, I like the Stallone Judge Dredd movie, and it's a very not great adaptation of the Judge Dredd comic. I also like the Dredd 2012 film a lot. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. But that also leaves a bit to be desired as a Judge Dredd interpretation as well. Mm-hmm. So, except for, I'd really have to think about this. Superman, look, I love the Christopher Reeve, all 4 Superman movies. Love them. I don't care. I super love them big time. And yes, are they the comics sort of ish? He's good. The villains are not really, But yeah, Superman 1 is awesome. Spider-Man 2, because see, Spider-Man 1, Green Goblin looks crappy. Why is he armored up? It looks weird. So that's not a great look either. But Spider-Man 2 for sure is one of them. Right? Like, so yeah, just as movies, these are just movies we're watching about a guy called Batman. So yes, as films rise is ridiculous, Bruce goes to the doctor because he can already walk in. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of weird stuff like that.
Well, I'm gonna when you're talking about the tentpole comic book movies, I'm gonna say that first X-Men movie too, which I know is unfashionable now, but I remember the hype going into it, and oh my god, there's gonna be a live. This was like peak Wolverine popularity. And there was like no real, a lot of people discounted Blade, although I consider it the beginning of the cinematic universe, or Blade made the cinematic universe possible. But that first X-Men movie, there was kind of like, this guy doesn't look or act like the Wolverine from the comics, and now the comics looks and acts like him. And just seeing all those characters, the fact that they leaned into Magneto or whatever we want to call him. They leaned into the Holocaust origin story. There was like tons of stuff you never expected them to do in an X-Men movie, you know, for mass normie audiences, and they did it. They went ahead and did it, and they, you know, you talk about the leather suit, black leather suits, and all that. That was, at the time, those costumes would have been laughable, but now you've got a whole generation of.
I responded hot takes. I sent you the link. Yeah, go ahead.
Now you've got a bunch of adults who are like in their late 30s, early 40s who grew up with the cartoon, and that is what they want to see, and that's how you got the Deadpool versus Wolverine movie. But back then, it's like, no, they wouldn't. You could not have put Hugh Jackman in yellow tights and expected like millions of people to go see that.
Anyway, I'm going to call it. James, it was a pleasure. Ross, it was a pleasure. Looking forward to talking to you guys again. I'm going to call it. Better to have three on the panel today anyway, so we'll call it. All right, take care.
All right, take care. See ya. Bye. Okay, Skeptic, I sent you a link. Why not? Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So that's just as movies. I don't like any of the X-Men movies.
Really?
I don't like any of them. If I have to pick one, you're not going to like the one I pick. So I can just leave it at that, or I can pick the one, and it's going to be Dark Phoenix.
Really? You know what? For a movie that was as troubled as it was, it's not as bad as people say. You know which one I don't think is as bad as people say? Like, I remember going into it, I remember watching it in the theater, and I remember the reaction afterwards. Part 3, the third.
Well,
it was like 20 years later, or however many years later, then the internet decided that it was a garbage fire. But I don't. Hey.
You can say Nerd Man. How's it going, dude?
Dude. I just heard you talking about the X-Men movies. There's only one.
Yeah, they're trash.
They're trash, dude. There's only one good one, and for me, it's what's it? First Class. Yeah,
that one's okay too.
That was pretty good.
Like, they're okay. Okay, so we were talking earlier. To me, Batman Begins is a very, very good movie, and a pretty damn good Batman movie also. So it's like, it's my favorite out of all of the Nolan ones. It might be the best live action Batman movie we have. I don't see anyone really beating it. Not especially not with the one that you like, where it's like 5 hours and it's all in the dark and nothing happens. and then at the end, Riddler wins and floods the city, and Batman's like, "Well, I kind of suck in this movie." Oh, it's okay. It's only your second year. It's like, so if I sucked at 2 years as a job, I get fired.
Do you have a probe droid in your living room there with you?
Oh, we've got. Is that your
already? I'm gonna let that slide because it's your channel. But.
Listen, I've seen the movie. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times, and I own all the toys. I got the art book. I got the soundtrack. I still, it's Batman. I'm a shill. So, but anyway. So, what do you think of Batman Begins?
Look, I think Batman Begins is. I think just a class act altogether. I was very shocked at my whole thing of because I had no idea a new Batman movie was coming out. I literally was in university, walked past the cinema, and I just saw Batman Begins. And by then I was kind of like not even like that into comics. I went through my period, the period where you're like, oh, I'm too intellectual for comics or something like that. Like,
it didn't happen for me, but okay, I can imagine it happening.
I can only imagine what that must have been like.
Yeah, and then I was like, what am I talking about? Comics are great. But yeah, no. So I just kind of like walked past it, and then it actually was part of what ignited my interest in comics again in some fashion. I thought it was really good. I thought it was, the idea of like, let's take Batman and explain how he does stuff. Right. If that was the the goal, the aim of the movie, I think it pulled it off pretty spectacularly. You know, like it grounded really every aspect while still holding on to the kind of mystique and the how would you say, like still holding on to the legendary aspects. It didn't take away. In fact, by grounding it, it made it even more kind of legendary what he was doing in the movie. Like when he summons the bats and stuff like that, you're just like, holy you know, like he's a vampire, you know? Like he's literally, you know, this mystical force, yet he's doing it all in ways that, you know, are scientifically grounded.
Sure,
I mean,
sure, yeah.
People can't, you know, fly around on a, you know, like what's it called, grappling hook or whatever, the way he does. So it's not that grounded. And the other thing, and this is the last thing I'll say, what I think that Nolan understood in the first movie, which he kind of deviated from in the second, is that you know, this was also more of psychologically grounding Batman, not just grounding his world completely, where, you know, like Gotham just looks like Chicago, or, you know, that kind of thing. He still was able to retain, and this is why it's my favorite of the trilogy, even though I think The Dark Knight might be a better movie.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It might be a better movie, but because he retained those comic book elements in the first one, the way the city looked, the mystique of Batman, the kind of legendary aspect of the character, of how he becomes the legend, you know. I really enjoyed those aspects. There are just bits where it's like, you know, he's talking, like the characters are talking to the audience in terms of like how we feel about Batman, you know, like I love that Ra's al Ghul scene in the prison where he's like, I think he says something like, I can't remember the setup to it, but it ends with the line, "And what will you become? A legend, Mr. Wade." You know, like, and how we feel, because we know that he's going to become Batman, and I love those bits.
Hey, let me see. So Phil's asking Nerdman what his favorite comic character. Let me see if I can guess based on our previous encounters. I'm going to say your favorites are Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, like the real Captain Marvel, like Shazam, Superman. Is that your top three? Did I guess it?
You've pretty much nailed it. I mean, Batman's in there. But,
so
it's kind of hard, like with the DC Trinity. It's like it's all of them. I've often said Superman because I think Superman has the most complete mythology. You know, I genuinely think if you were to take Superman to the ancient Greeks or the Egyptians or any era of, you know, storytelling, they'd understand Superman.
Yeah, he's my favorite character. Like we had the same. The Trinity is my top three. I figured it was your, and I know you really like Captain Marvel. I also really like Captain Marvel. I have his comic where he was introduced into DC Comics after being part of what's it called? Was it Charlton? No, not Charlton. It was why am I blanking? Fawcett.
Wiz Comics.
Yeah, Fawcett. Yeah, he was in Fawcett Comics.
Fawcett Comics.
Yeah. So I've got that comic of him being like Superman introducing him. So I love Captain Marvel as well. So I figured those were your favorites.
Flash is there as well.
Yes, you like Flash. I forgot. Yeah. All right. So Lewis Wilson. Hey, Skeptic.
Hey, what's up?
So what do you want to say about Batman Begins? You think it's trash or what?
No, I like Batman Begins. I like how it is grounded a lot, but I think it still had an open opportunity to do some magical things with Dark Knight, but my criticism with Dark Knight is the fact that, you know, it's a little too grounded. It's almost boring. I love Dark Knight, but it's almost like a little boring with how, like, I don't know. Gotham doesn't look like Gotham, you know? Yeah. But Begins, I think, definitely had a lot of potential for that, and I think it's a solid film. I liked Ra's al Ghul. I call him Ra's because that's what I grew up on with that movie. The video game was pretty good. A lot of people don't talk about that game because everybody talks about the Arkham Asylum game, but the Batman Begins game I played on the Xbox, that was pretty good. Decent graphics.
I'll come back at you with something about the Dark Knight.
Sure.
Because I think I understand what you're saying, but I think it's the direction it was going in rather than that specific movie.
Oh,
it
probably,
was like
yeah.
when I left the movie, I was just like, I remember being disappointed the first time I saw The Dark Knight, and then I watched it again without my kind of without my, you know, like comic book hat on, and just watched it as a movie, and I was like, wow, that's actually pretty fucking.
Oh yeah, no, as a movie, it's a wonderful film. It's great. I love it. It's
but the direction it was going in, I could totally see The Dark Knight Rises coming out of it, you know, where it was just like, that was boring to me. That was like, you know, you go far into your realism bullshit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you lost some people.
Let me
take a look at the poll. I'm going to close the poll. Hold on a second. Let me close the poll. So the question was, Batman Begins is the best live-action Batman movie, one of the best Batman movies, pretty solid or overrated. So 10% said it's the best live-action Batman movie. So 3 people thought that. One of the best Batman movies ever, so 53% think it's one of the best Batman movies. Pretty solid is 33%, and overrated is 3%. So like one person thought it was overrated, I guess. So we're going to end the poll there. Who is that you something to put overrated?
No. I put it in, what was it, decent or something?
Oh, okay.
Oh, you put it in decent. So what are your critiques against the movie? I'm curious. What do you...
No, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot. I mean, I like it. For one, I'm not a huge fan of the Tumbler, to be honest. Just the design is just a little too bulky for Batman style for me. But overall, with the story, it's good. I mean, I like it. Definitely. Out of any of the films ever, it really emphasizes the no-kill rule, and that's important to the character for sure.
He does let Roz die, though, so that's kind of a
yeah. But I think that as a I take that out of the Batman lore and look at that as a character decision, and I think the character decision was set up throughout the movie enough for it to warrant that ending.
Yeah.
You know, like he could have chosen to save Roz. That would have been a perfectly fine ending as well. I'm not saying that wouldn't have been a good ending, but I'm saying that the fact that it sets that up throughout the movie means, you know, you can kind of forgive that little kind of thing where it's like, yeah, Batman probably wouldn't have done that, but you know, this is a movie, and that's what you do with character choices. You set them up during the movie and pay them off at the end, right? And that's
for sure. Yeah, no, I really like that scene where he has the gun and he throws it away. He's like, ew, I don't want to like do this, you know?
My main issue with it is just Scarecrow, who I thought was great.
Oh, 100%.
Casting was great. I thought the performance was great. And then he turns to Scarecrow and nothing happens.
Yeah, Rachel gets him with
more. They got to go back to, okay, so one of my main points that I've always been saying on this channel is that you need to get back to one, and Nerman, is that yours? That's echoing?
Yeah, I muted mine. I made sure it wasn't me.
I'm gonna mute you for a second. Hello, is that better? Yeah, okay, so hot takes, that's yours. It's getting all that.
Oh, there's something happening?
Yeah, it's like echoing.
Echoing, really?
It's like, but when I talk, it's like I'm hearing it through your mic, I guess.
It sounds like a probe droid. It's like,
yeah, it sounds like somebody plugging their nose or something.
Yeah. So I'll just mute. I don't know if you want to put a headset or something. Maybe that'll. Or do you have one on? I don't know. Anyways, my thing is always.
Can I try this? Is it better?
Well, it's only when I talk. Okay, no, that's better. Yeah, that's better. So my whole point has been for all these movies, you need to go with one villain and really go focus on that villain, adapt it nicely, get a good performance out of that guy, have the hero fight the villain, he beats him at the end, that's it. And you have to use, if you use one villain, you can hype him up. So, for this year, it's all going to be about Scarecrow toys, Scarecrow t-shirts, and really push that character. And then Scarecrow's defeated, and then you make a movie 2 years later or whatever it is. So 2 years later you do the Riddler, and then it's all Riddler, because then it also makes the movie shorter, because it doesn't need to be more than like 2 hours. A lot of movies, right? They can be 2 hours is plenty of time. Develop the villain, develop the hero, have something new happen with the hero. They fight. Maybe the villain gets the best of them. Hero has to come back, right? Beat him again at the end. And it'll also decrease the budget, because these movies become so high budgeted that they become too long and you can't rewatch them. The budget is so crazy that they need to make they need to make like $900 million, to be profitable. It's not going to happen. If you made there's a new Spider-Man coming out. Surely that movie can be 100 minutes. Use Scorpion or someone, one character, he fights Scorpion. He has some business with the girls, or has has like a crush or some shit. Then Jameson hires Scorpion or whatever. And then they fight at the end and he defeats Scorpion. And Jameson's like, oh, I'm an idiot or whatever. That's it. Make it 100 minutes. The budget gets cut in half because it doesn't need to be 2.5 hours, right? So there's less CGI effects. You only need 3 awesome fight scenes. You have a fight scene in the beginning where he maybe stops a crime. You have a really epic fight scene with Scorpion and him, and then where Scorpion wins. And then you have a big super battle at the end and make it interesting, and that's it. Like Spider-Man 2, how many big action scenes? He fights him on the train. That's the big super Doc Ock scene. And then he fights him at the end. And that movie's awesome. And you don't really need 100 big budget action where freaking buildings are falling down and like, what the hell's happening?
But one of the most like memorable scenes of that movie is just literally throwing something in a trash can. Like,
yeah, that is memorable. Go ahead, Ross. What were you going to say?
Or you do like current MCU and you spend 45 minutes of the movie making Spider-Gwen a thing, and then
really, I know.
And then you find some trash villains from the current run of Spider-Man comics that none of the comic book fans know about, and then try to make them into a thing.
Yeah,
it'd be awesome. And throw in the Korean Hulk too. Why not?
God.
Yeah, no, I heard about that. About like, there's
Superman.
People are thinking that Spider-Gwen is going to be in the movie. I swear to God, if that's true. No.
Scarecrow didn't even do nothing. That's what he wants me to say.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with this whole like it has to be one villain, but because I've seen films with one villain and they're not very good. It's not about how many villains. I mean, maybe you might be right that they're making it more difficult for themselves by adding 2 villains. But like Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Superman 1, like, I mean, these are the...
they've said many times that they do it for the toys.
Like
you got two villains, twice as many toys, especially since the villains don't sell as well. So you're going to have to get, like, 2 villains worth of toys to equal 1 Batman or whatever.
They could so Nerdman, they could do it if they could write, but they can't even write one good character now. So how are they going to write multiple good characters, right? It's just
what you could do though is have a good villain with like a trash sidekick villain. So like you get killer. The main villain would be like Joker with Killer Croc, or
I was thinking like in Homecoming, Shocker is technically in the movie, but he's like there for 2 seconds,
right?
Yeah, so Shocker. I don't know. I just feel like you can do more with the characters. These movies really should be 100 minutes. It's like it's like then you can watch them over and over. Like I've seen The Phantom and The Shadow and all these ones. I've seen those 100 times. It's like Phantom you could rewatch because that has multiple villains technically if you read the comics. There because those women and you've got the Singh Brotherhood. And it's like or Sang Brotherhood. They don't say Sing because they're not saying the Singh Brotherhood. Whatever. But you can watch them over and over again, and the theaters can play them more. It just feels like and then you get more pumped up for the. Yeah, I got you can get pumped up for that villain. You get the shirts. As soon as they start having 2, 3, 4, Batman and Robin has like 4 villains if you count Floronic Man or whatever, who's a villain. So it's like how many villains are in this thing? And then some of these other ones there's like Superman.
The problem with Batman and Robin is not the amount of villains. I'm sorry.
I know, but
it's beside the point. Like that just.
I know, but it's the problem with all of these things. It's like even with Shocker, because it's like, okay, oh yeah, Shocker's in this, yeah, but now I'm like, but I kind of like Shocker. I would have liked to have seen him have something more to do. So you can't build it up that way. But okay, so this we're going to end off, and we're not going to go too long. This Superman movie is going to cost so much. Every time I go on Facebook, there is a new list of products coming out. It's like, here's all of these new toys. I'm like, guys, there is every scale toy of Superman. They need to watch themselves here. Like we'll see how it does. I don't know if they're done re-editing it, because it's supposed to be like every day. Like there was no narrative in the Superman movie. I don't know if you guys know that it was like it's 7 days of Superman's life. So it's like Monday. Here's what he does on Monday, and then it concludes. And then here's what he does on Tuesday. Here's what happens on Wednesday. It's sort of like All-Star Superman. That was the format of the movie, and people didn't like it. And that's why they're doing all these. This is what I heard. This is what I heard. I don't work for, I'm not on the set. I didn't see the test screen, but this is what I heard. And people are like, well, that's weird. And now they're trying to re-edit it to be like, like one kind of.
Oh, God.
So, I mean, that would have been somewhat interesting for me just to see, like, but anyway, the budget's so huge now that like it's setting itself up for failure. Like, how is it gonna? I don't know. Like, is it really 500 million? Classic? That seems like crazy.
What, for the Superman movie? What? No.
I heard Captain America: Brave New World was like that too.
Yeah, I heard that too. Oh my God, this is just ridiculous. What was the budget of the '89 Batman movie? I'm gonna look that up.
Oh, Hot Takes has a new channel. Hold on a second. Let me.
Oh no! I was going to do that later, but yeah, thank you.
I'll put that in the chat because I am subscribed. I think I am subscribed to whatever channels your thing is. I got. So let's go, Nerd Man. There's your channel. I'll put that up there.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah. So check out Nerd Man. The only Twitter reaction we ever had was that day where I went on your channel and I said Man of Steel was trash, and I woke up and there was like 300 tweets or something, and I've never seen that in my life. I was completely shocked. I usually wake up, and if I check Twitter right now, let me check Twitter right now. Let me see. I've got 3 notifications, so obviously I'm not very popular on Twitter. I'm so not popular that I can actually respond to people if they message me. So I woke up one day, I went on Nerdman's channel, and we talked about Man of Steel. We weren't very favorable to it. And then I woke up the next morning and there was 300 something. I was like, whoa, I thought there was a mistake. And I thought, oh no, I said, Twitter's messed up. There's like all these notifications. And that was, some guy got so pissed at us. Like,
he was so, he did a video on us. He literally did a video. It was like, I was just like, it's just like our opinion, dude.
Yeah, the thing is that I like so many movies, and I don't want to mention any YouTuber names or people. I don't want to mention any of that. So guys, please respect that. Don't mention any names or anything. But my thing is that even on this panel right now, we all disagree in various degrees on different things, and that's. And the whole point is that there's so many movies that I love that people think are absolute garbage. And I'm like, well, I love them. What do you want me to tell you? I won't lie. I'm never going to lie to people to try to get some sort of like clout or to get some sort of clicks or something. And I'm not going to say something sucks if I don't think so. And I'm not going to care about something if I don't. So just to get clicks, let me pretend to care about something that I don't care about. Like, So I'm never going to do that. And the thing is because of that I'm always honest with myself first and foremost, and my friends secondly. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I walked out of, like, let's say I use Hellraiser 4 as an example. I walked out of Hellraiser 4. I was like, wow, it was fucking awesome. I bought all the toys. Like, this is awesome. And it's an Alan Smithy movie, which means that even the director didn't like the movie, that he took his name off of it. I loved it. And everyone's like, that's a terrible movie. I loved it. I love Wonder Woman 1984. Everyone thinks it's a woke trash nightmare. I don't care. I love it. I don't care. Like, what does it matter to me if, I love the first Wonder Woman also. I love both of them. It doesn't matter to me. It's like, I'm not going to lie to someone to try to get something from them. Well, let me lie and get clicks, or fake hate something. It's like, I didn't think the Flash movie was that bad. I thought there was a lot of cool stuff in the Flash, and everyone hates the Flash. Okay, so they hate it. What do I care? Then hate it. But I'm not all.
Shazam.
Shazam, I thought was okay too. It's
the
like
second one was great.
I thought that I liked the second one way better. And that has Rachel Zegler in it, so be careful of that.
So you kind of have sold me on that one, actually.
Well, you can check it. I like Freddy's character.
Thank you.
Freddy
you watched it as well, and it was I can't like the Flash one. I understood. Like, even though I liked the Flash movie, I was like, yeah, I kind of get what people. But
there's a lot of dumb things in the
people
Flash.
Are talking about in the second Shazam. It's actually an improvement, if anything, on the first one.
Yeah, I don't make
it. You've got Flash bias, nerd man. So I don't know about you.
The Flash. Well, again, I'm not saying it's the greatest movie ever. I think the third act is an atrocity, to be honest. Like, and especially with the George Clooney reveal at the end, I was just like, this is ludicrous. Like, that whole third act for me was just a nightmare. But I thought the beginning was good, and it had a heartfelt, kind of thing throughout it, and it just needed better CGI. That was my thing with it. If it had better CGI, I think it would have been a lot better movie.
No, I get what you mean. Like, the baby in the microwave was the best part.
Yeah. No, but the point isn't again, I'm not trying to say anyone's opinions or whatever. I'm not. So the thing is, you can have it. What I don't like is where it's like people are lying to themselves or lying to their people on to either pretend to super love something like these fake shills, but also the equivalent to say everything's trash too. It's like when you probably don't care. Like, if I don't care about something, I'm not going to stream about it because I don't care. Like, when Fantastic Four comes out, that's going to be a shit mess movie. I already know. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to destroy that thing. Now, if there's almost no chance of me liking it because Silver Surfer is incorrect and it's an insult to Jack Kirby, so I don't care. They effed it up. It's an insult to Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby is my favorite creative force. I don't care. And I don't care what anyone says. There's going to be zero convincing me. It's garbage. Okay, Superman, I'm not sure about, but James Gunn, I don't trust James Gunn's abilities, and I can't stand the costume, and I can't stand like 50% of what I'm seeing in these trailers. Like that guy getting punched in the face and teeth hitting the camera. I'm like, is this supposed to be funny? Like, what is this shit?
Yeah, it looks goofy. I don't like that camera.
It's not. It's like the Superman Christopher Reeve was an adult movie. It's made for families. Everyone can go and watch it. And it's for like there's actors and there's nothing. There's this James Gunn dumbassery going on in the Superman trailer. I'm like, why is there this weird dumbassery crap happening? Right? Like,
the thing is, like,
there's a lot of stuff I like about it, but
there's
go on.
Stuff
Sorry,
like,
go on, Ross. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ross. Yeah.
The thing with James Gunn is, I mean, he was bopping around with like low budget movies and B stuff for most of his career before Guardians of the Galaxy, and then all of a sudden he was like the chosen one. But there's a book out about the creation of the MCU that talks about this woman who wrote the original screenplay for Guardians, which was based on the Dan Abnett run of the comics, which had the comics already had a lot of the stuff people like about the movie and those characters. And then her screenplay sounded like a very straightforward, typical MCU movie. And then James Gunn came in and James Gunned it up. Now, if they had kept that combo, they probably would have had 3 really great Guardians of the Galaxy movies. But apparently, he got his butt hurt and tried to get her name taken off of. There's like one other woman who's got screenplay credit for the MCU. They tried to take her off. He tried to take her off the credits for the movie, and then she wasn't brought back for parts 2 and 3. So, and then everything he's done since then has had varying degrees of trollery or ultra violence or whatever, which is pretty much just a really expensive version of the stuff he used to do before when he was an indie.
Yeah, I don't think he's cut out for Superman in that case, because that's not a Superman thing to be all gory and edgy and all that stuff. Like, that's
right. I mean, maybe it's okay.
But why is Superman so stupid? Like, he's losing his temper on Lois Lane.
Yeah, that pissed me off in the trailer.
It's like surely Superman can compose himself. He's like, Lois, why don't you ask me some tough questions? Okay, I'm going to ask you some tough questions. Oh, I'm ready for it. Well, why did you interfere in this thing? Oh, there people were that. It's like, what's your problem? Like, relax. It's like even the worst politician ever wouldn't lose his temper on that. He'd be like, well, he'd have some stupid political answer under his thing. Oh, well, we had stuff for size. He's losing his temper. Even Henry Cavill allows himself to be arrested, and he could destroy everybody. He could break out of those cuffs and kill everybody. He allows himself to be arrested and taken into custody, and they're interrogating him. And that's the movie I don't like. And they're interrogating him like, at least Henry Cavill's keeping his cool there. I can't believe this guy. He's sitting there with his girlfriend. Maybe she's not the girlfriend at that time, and maybe that scene there's more to it, and we're not seeing it because of the trailer edit. But it seems like you lost your temper for a very legit questions that a reporter is going to ask if it's based in this time. The other thing is that I don't even like that they're getting into this stuff. I think that they've overthought a lot of these things. It's like Superman should just fight a global threat. Why are we getting into, is he going into, I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to get nailed on my channel, but why is he going into this hot spot or that spot? And would he interfere in the war in or the war or go to this country and talk to this person? It's like, what is happening here? It's like, it's Superman. It's like, this is fake. It's not real. It's like there was one of the Star Wars things where someone was like sexually assaulted or something in one of these Star Wars shows. Or Andor.
I think Andor's fine. I think
no. Okay, that's a bunch of garbage. George Lucas would never have that. It's not when people say the Empire is evil. It's like the Empire is evil in the world of Star Wars as being evil. They tell you what to do and they turn you into slaves. They're not evil in the sense that there's someone who's kidnapping women and torturing them and putting.
There's like a boss who's sexually assaulting.
Right. Like,
it's female.
It's like that is not a Star Wars thing, dumbass. It's like it's not like there's not like a serial killer in Star Wars who's kidnapping women and throwing them in basements and torturing them. It's like, oh,
that has happened in Superman comics. Superman has gone into war zones and done stuff. So like,
that's fine.
Wonder Woman does the same thing. In fact, I was kind of a little bit annoyed because I feel like that's actually more of a Wonder Woman thing. But let's set that aside. Superman does do that in like comics.
Sure, but lots of things happening.
I like the thing that you brought up just now, which I didn't even notice, of him getting like really angry, because I knew I had something like when I was watching. Every time I watch the trailers, I just go away feeling like it's not. I'm probably gonna enjoy this movie, but there's something not quite right about it. Like it feels, like somebody who's very superficially understood. I don't want to say superficially understood Superman. Anyway, you were going to agree with me. You were going to agree with me.
I'm agreeing with that, because it's like people look. We're giving hope. How are you giving hope? You can't just say words. You can't just say, oh, this is all about hope. Okay, in what way? What are we hoping for? Like, what's the hope? What hope are you talking about? When they're just saying, James Gunn and people are just saying a bunch of words that sound Superman.
Man of Steel. Man of Steel as well.
Zack Snyder is the heavyweight, undisputed heavyweight champion of saying stuff instead of showing it. It's like, oh, it's all about this. Like, no. You need to show me in the movie why the character is like this. Like, if we take, go ahead.
Go.
No, I was going to say, the first Wonder Woman movie, the little girl Wonder Woman, the young Diana, she's running around and she's like, I want to go help people. I want to learn how to fight. And they're like, no, little girl, you're not. No, I want to learn. And then they're like, no, Diana. And then she's hiding and looking and training, right? And then she's like, and then as soon as Steve Trevor comes, she's like, I want to go help people. She takes Steve Trevor. They're walking around. She's like, I'm going to help this person. He's like, Diana, no, I got to go help these people. Finally, obviously that big famous scene coming out of the trench, right? But she's like, no, I have to help people. I have to do something. So you're seeing that as an audience member watching, saying, I like this girl. It's like she wants to be good. She's a hero. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
And
the
I'm
thing.
sitting there, I'm sitting there in the theater thinking, yeah. And then I'm sitting there like, Wonder Woman is Superman. This is what Superman should have been as well. They're both this character.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman wants to help people, and she gets up and does something. Even as a little girl, they're showing her, and she wants to train and learn and fight. And I'm like, this is a character that the audience can get behind. Superman was sitting there saying his father just died. Well, his father said don't save him. But Superman is so fast, he goes, shoo, shoo. The point of the heart attack in part 1 is that that's a natural cause of death that Superman can't prevent. He can't prevent you from getting the measles. He can't prevent you from, getting getting a disease or something. It's like he can't save everybody in that way. But the point is to be a beacon. It's not that he gives hope. He's supposed to inspire you to be better.
I just want to interject with what you're saying, because I don't think in Superman 1 or 2, I might be wrong, but I don't even think the word hope was even used.
No, it wasn't used.
And yet you got that sense,
right,
that he was this beacon of hope.
Yes.
You didn't need to like lay it on thick. That's what's happening in this Superman movie, which is fine. Again, I'm not the custodian of what, and this is why I went back on saying, I think it's a superficial view of what Superman is, because I'm not the custodian of what Superman is. And I really don't like when people, hey, I've read a few comics, so therefore I know everything about this character, and this isn't the character, and all of that kind of thing. Yeah. Because I like people's different takes. I like to see how people feel about Batman or how people feel about Wonder Woman, That's what's interesting about those characters, and why they've lasted so long is because people have a genuine emotional reaction, which makes them see that character and what hope means in that character, or what vengeance means in Batman. Right? Like as a theme, they're able to interpret that and give us their kind of view, and that's what I want to see. Since James Gunn has taken on this thing, which I don't, as Lewis said, I don't necessarily like. I never thought, oh, James Gunn, Superman, that is not the character I thought. If anything, I thought maybe Green Lantern could do a maybe interesting Green Lantern, considering his Guardian stuff, with the Green Lantern Corps and all the weird animal creatures it has, and stuff like that. So, but since he's taken it on, I want to see his version of Superman. I don't want to see what he thinks we want to see necessarily. Obviously, you should do that to some degree, but in the end of the day, if you don't have the passion for the character, where you've got an idea about this character,
right,
then don't do it. So that's why I'm kind of I'm open to it. I'm open to what I've seen. I think it's going to be at least a fun movie. I might not like everything about it, but that's fine. I don't want a filmmaker to go out and try and go on the internet and do a bunch of research to calculate what an audience wants to see, and not offend them in any way, or it's fine to offend the sensibilities or challenge the sensibilities a bit, but
I think these have to be the final points. I'm hard stopping the stream in 2 minutes. I have to. Okay, Ross, go 1 minute, literally one.
I even forgot what I was going to say, so just go ahead.
Okay, you're good. Okay, Skeptic, anything to add?
I was thinking about who would be a great director for a Superman film.
And you thought of
obviously Joe Johnston, I think.
Yep,
I think he would be amazing. Steven Spielberg, he has a whimsical, kind of optimistic kind of directing style too. Those are the only two I could think of right now, but I think those.
I think the guy who did Forrest Gump.
Is that Robert Zemeckis?
He did also Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He did what was it? DiCaprio movie, Run. He's a really great director. I think he was interested in doing a Flash or Superman movie at one point, and they turned him down. So
well, we'll see how it goes. I've got my opening night tickets for Fantastic Four, which will be garbage, and I have my opening tickets for Superman, and I have my opening tickets for Megan 2, which I'm super excited for. I can't wait to watch. I'm so excited. They built they built 2 evil robots. I love it. And then they have to fight each other. Genius. It's an absolute masterpiece. And I saw Ballerina. It was all right.
Yeah.
John Wick's in it for 2 minutes. Hey, Corey, how's it going? Okay.
I don't know. I'm going to say one last thing. Fantastic Four. I'm not sure it's going to be all that bad.
No, it's going to be horrendous.
Because of the female Silver Surfer?
Yeah, because it's a disgrace to Jack Kirby. His one solo writing credit, his one solo creation credit, because Stan Lee made sure his name was on every goddamn thing that happened. His one credit where Stan Lee had to admit that I didn't create anything with this character was Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer is Jack Kirby's own thing. Without him, there is no Marvel Universe. There's a lot of nothing. There's no Dark Side, Fourth World. All that's Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby is the greatest creative mind that we've had in pop culture ever. He created so many things that it's crazy. None of our channels would exist, or our passions for all this stuff is all not there without Jack Kirby. Yes, Siegel and Schuster are super important, of course. But Jack Kirby, the sheer amount of characters, his only damn credit is the goddamn Silver Surfer, and they can't give it to him. Even in that Fantastic Four movie, which wasn't all that great with Galactus, the one thing that was actually awesome was Lawrence Fishburne's voice, and I think it was Doug Jones in the body for Silver Surfer. Why didn't they just use those same 2 people? Lawrence Fishburne's voice was perfect. It gave him like depth, you know. It's like that was awesome. They're ruining Silver Surfer. It's a big F you to Jack Kirby. The guy sits there saying, I love Fantastic Four. No, you don't. Because if you did, you'd understand that Jack Kirby created that. It's Challengers of the Unknown. It's his version, and they F that up. So I don't care. I cannot move on this point. They spit in Jack Kirby's face by doing this. Oh, it's Shalabal because who cares? Well, I care.
Is he getting the credit in the movie?
Well, he didn't create Shalabal, so no. Well, he created the Fantastic Four, so he's going to get the credit for that. Yeah. But he created the Fantastic Four, and anyway, so that's a deal breaker. I don't care. Okay, it's like if Superman raped someone, I'd be like, well, it's over. Okay, guys, and demonetized. All right, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Tomorrow is Avengers, man. 4 issues of Avengers. Looking forward to it. Thanks, everybody. Until next time. Bye.
Hey, friends. You've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.